A very good morning and a warm welcome to the third day of Orientation Program 2023. Dear students, I hope that the previous 2 days of orientation have helped you in getting acquainted with the rules and regulations of the university, and by now, you would be feeling confident about your forthcoming academic and cultural life at Amity University campus. In today's session, we'd like to brief you on the university's intellectual resources, followed by some insightful sessions by some eminent guest speakers. To begin with today's session, let me have the pleasure of introducing our Director HR, Rear Admiral K.K. Pandey. Sir is Director HR as well as Director Amity Academic Staff College for last 5 years. He has been instrumental in streamlining the processes for induction of intellectual faculty and staff resources for quality education in Amity University, Haryana. He had 36 years of illustrious service in the Indian Navy and has commanded various naval missile, corvettes, frigates, destroyers, and other frontline warships. He was instrumental in operational planning for naval element of the Kargil War, operations in Sri Lanka, and UN mission in Somalia. Admiral Pandey had also held various operational and administrative assignments as naval headquarters. He was appointed as Flag Officer Fleet Review for the International Fleet Review, which saw 50 foreign countries' participation in the august presence of Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji, as well as Honorable President Shri Pranab Mukherjee at Visakhapatnam in 2016. For his meritorious service in the Indian Navy, he was awarded Ati Vishesh Seva Medal by the President of India in 2016 and Vishesh Seva Medal in 2012 for his distinguished services. With this brief introduction, may I invite Rear Admiral Pandey sir for a session on intellectual resources for quality education.
Good morning, boys and girls, and my colleagues sitting here in front. It's an honor for me to present something about the human resource element of our university and why it is so important in today's scenario and what we are doing to ensure that you get the best. Well, if I take you back to the UN General Assembly, who had mandated in 2015 17 sustainable development goals, and they intended to achieve them by year 2030. As far as Amity University, Haryana is concerned, we are very proudly announcing that in SDG 6, that is clean water and sanitation, because we try to conserve the water, even the wastewater, we try to recycle and use it. AUH has been adjudged 32 rank globally. And as far as SDG 13 is concerned, that is climate action, AUH has been adjudged amongst the top 200 globally. We have the cleanest air in our campus here. But today I am here to highlight more about SDG 4. And what does SDG 4 talks about? It's the education. And in education, it says that it's the process of facilitating learning or the acquisition of knowledge, skills, values, beliefs, and habits. So dear students, it's not only just the textbook knowledge, it's the skills, values, belief, and habits. And all that, you get it here at Amity University, Haryana. Quality education specifically entails issues such as appropriate skill development, gender parity, and provision of better school infrastructure, scholarships, or teaching force. This is what the UN General Assembly has set out. Coming more specific to the education part, why it is crucial for achieving SDG 4. A, to ensure education for all. I need not to emphasize because you have already reached the graduation level. So you are a privileged one because there are many who don't even get the primary education. Then it talks about technical and vocational training, which is very important to make you future ready for your learning here to be of usage in entire your lifespan. Also ending inequality. I'll be talking about it. We are very particular and we are very fortunate also that both in terms of students and faculty, we maintain quite a good gender sensitivity. Then the right education for children with disability. This campus has got all the facilities for the differently enabled students to have their education peacefully here. Lastly, increasing the number of trained and qualified teachers and promoting sustainable development for them. This is what I'm going to talk about. Well, when you look at the wheel of any university, what all it entails infrastructure. For last 2 days, you have been going around here. You must have seen we have got one of the best infrastructure in terms of buildings, in terms of labs. This auditorium, very few educational institutes will be able to talk about this kind of a facility. We have 2 more such auditoriums. Then the green campus, we have got 110 acres of land here, lush green. Those of you who will be staying here in the hostel will witness in early morning and late in the evening what kind of a greenery you have and what kind of a environment that you live in. Smart classrooms. Most of the institutes, the 17 institutes which you were told yesterday, all of them have got smart classrooms. Sports facilities, plenty of them, and we have got qualified sports teachers and assistants to manage your sports. Auditorium, I did talk about it, and here you are seated also. Then the central library, one of the best central library I have seen across in my life. And every year, every month, we are adding certain new books of your liking. You can also give your choices and those books will come. Transport facilities. We pick up students as far as from Janakpuri in Delhi or Dwarka or even Faridabad, besides in Rewari and Daruheda or Gurugram. Cafeterias, variety of cafeterias to suit your appetite. But most importantly, in the wheel of university is the faculty members who are going to teach you, who are going to train you, who are going to mentor you, who are going to mold you. How do we do? What do we do? We have a deep selection process, a 3-tier process. We really source them very diligently. At my level, we get the CVs sieved out, and thereafter, the candidates are subjected to full-day interaction with the HOI of a respective institute, where they are grilled for their subject knowledge, as also a demo class is taken by them. And finally, our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Pro Vice Chancellor, and the HOI sit down together, and then they select the candidate for our university. So believe you me, you have one of the best faculty members out here in our university. This slide, I'll take a little more time just to tell you, though this is also I have displayed in our D block foyer as also in A block foyer. Right from the left side, you can see we have got variety of teachers with different experiences. We have got less than 8 years, about 29% of the faculty members. Between 8 to 15 years, we have got 38%, and above 15 years, we have got 33%. So it's not just the young faculty member, but you have the range of faculty members who are going to teach you. Gender sensitivity, as has been indicated, we got 49% female and 51% male faculty members. Coming to the center yellow part, right, in 2012, we got established in 2010, but in 12, we were just about 27% PhD holders as faculty members. Today, we stand at 72.8%, and another 15.43% faculty members are pursuing their PhD, which they are likely to finish in a year or two. With this, we'll have almost about 90% of the faculty members who are PhD holders here. Then when you look at the center columns, we have in ABS, in ASLA, by now you must be knowing what this stands for. ASAS, ACs, ACOST, AIB, almost 100% faculty members are PhD holders, and others are just catching up, or their faculty members are pursuing their PhD. We also look at, when we do the deep selection, as to from where they are coming. So the pink column is showing as to from which all universities they have done their PhD or they have done their UG and PG. You can see we have got people from foreign universities, AIMS, IITs, Delhi University, and the whole lot of good universities in and around India. On the right side, you can see we have got about 31% faculty members from Haryana and 69% faculty members are from outside Haryana. That means we are not Haryana-centric. We have got faculty members right from Kerala, Tamil Nadu to the West Bengal and Gujarat side. So you have best of the faculty coming and teaching you. Bottom column in the center shows that we got a very good, healthy faculty-student ratio of 1:17 and a very healthy ratio between professors, associate professors, and assistant professors. So this is the mix of people that you would be having in your daily mentoring and classes. With our experience of last 5 years or so, we have also come out with a book when we are trying to say that how the decoding of talent hunt is done. And this book will be shortly available in our library. Those who are interested can go through, and especially the MBA students. To summarize, I must say that we are very much a student-centric university. This is what our chancellor keeps hammering it. So besides the core subject, you would also have theory and practical. Some of you who are required to go to some clinical duties will be taken to hospitals or the industrial visits. Interdisciplinary, here we have got 17 institutes, as our Pro-Vice Chancellor said yesterday. So there is a lot of crosstalk and a lot of people come from other institutes and teach you wherever you are. Foreign language, this university does follow. You will have to choose one of the foreign language, and we have got good staff who are going to teach you different languages, whether French, German, Russian, or whatever you like. Sports and clubs, plenty of them that we have. Extra co-curricular activities, I think enough has been spoken, and tomorrow again our DSW will talk about it. So all in all, what we are looking at is to make you future ready. Be rest assured, you've just come out from the school. By the time you finish 3 to 4 years, whatever you have chosen, you will be a thorough professional, and your grooming is ensured for all-round development. With this, thank you very much and see you later. Thank you. Just keep sitting. I think we will have some expert talks that MC will announce. So keep sitting, and you have some interesting sessions today. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for such an informative session. Our next guest is about to reach soon, so we would request all of you to kindly be seated. Once we have our Honorable Vice Chancellor and the guest chair, will again begin the session. Thank you. Students, we have a talent hunt program on August 18. The registration desks are there outside. We request you, whatever talents you have, please let us show that to us, all of us, so that you can be a part of different clubs, and that'll be a very entertaining session for all of you. So registration desks are outside. We request you to register there. 18th August is when we're going to have this session, right? right? Thank you.
And healthy for a long life that is promised to you by your parents, by your forefathers, and live a life of divine bliss up to the age of 100 years. This is the tall order, and we are promising this for one and all in the country here, so that the good health of all is not just merely a wishful thinking, but a reality in our own lifetime. And we want to see this happening around the world. So give a big hand to our very distinguished guest this morning, Professor Randeep Guleria ji. Professor Guleria ji, we are truly proud of you. We have seen you cheering us, giving us hope, even saving us from the disaster of COVID during the COVID pandemic. I'm sure many of you may recall the face of Professor Guleria ji, who was coming all the time and telling us, don't worry too much. We are all there to ensure that you are protected to the best of our ability. Still, some of us have gone to God. That doesn't mean that things were not well managed. We managed them so well that the whole world today is proud of how COVID was managed by India, and they are learning from India the lessons to manage pandemics in future. Ladies and gentlemen, while COVID was, of course, a wake-up call for the vast humanity, it gives us reason to ask ourselves, what can we do to ourselves now? What can we do to our country? What can we do to the built environment? And what can science and technology do for you so that you remain cheerful, happy, and blissful throughout your life and make profound contributions to the vast humanity here of 1.4 billion plus people which we have in our country, and 7 billion plus people which you have around the world, so that the whole world could be proud of Mother India, of its children like you, who are joining university like ours for your education, research, and innovation and enlightenment to march on the pathway of research and innovation during your lifetime. Founding fathers of this university, including our Honorable Founder President, Dr. Ashok Chauhan, my Honorable Chancellor, Dr. Sin Chauhan, join me in welcoming our very distinguished guest this morning. We look towards you, Professor Guleria ji, for further guidance as to what can be done. Our forefathers lived for millions of the years without going to super specialty hospitals. In fact, they ensured that good health of people is assured on the strength of the good health of the environment, on the quality of food they eat, integration of medicines, mostly natural medicines that they integrate into the food in our daily life, and a lifestyle that assures you stress-free and yet highly vibrant and energetic life to make your profound contribution to create heaven and earth here in India. And truly India was a heaven on earth. Our rivers were rivers of nectar for millions of the years. Our forests were full of flora and fauna, and we had tremendous amount of divine bliss descending on us in the form of herbal and medicinal plants. When Lakshmana himself was almost defeated by Ravana's son, he was lying almost in coma. Lord Rama was in deep grief. And look at the miracle of the kind happened that time. They invited a physician from the enemy quarter from Sri Lanka to treat Lakshmanaji. You would not take such a grave risk inviting the physician from your arch enemy's country, and that too to treat somebody so near, so dear, like your own brother Lakshmanaji. And here comes the physician from Sri Lanka. Look at the highest levels of professional morals and the faith people had in the profession of medicine, that the physician comes from Sri Lanka and he says, get me Sanjeevani. And no one less than Hanumanaji goes and brings that natural wonder medicine, which in no time resurrected Lakshmanaji to come handy to win over the war with Ravana, later along with his brother Lord Rama. This is what exactly the power of herbal medicine and power of medicinal plant is. Our forefathers knew it very well. They practiced their profession with highest level of integrity, truthfulness, and devotion for the cause for which the profession is made. How could it be that you take such a grave risk because you knew that professional integrity is the hallmark of a profession like medical profession? It was in fact the hallmark of all professions that we had. And therefore, in the years to come, you will confront, in fact, the challenge of rising to the glory, practicing highest levels of ethics, personal morality, as well as professional morality, and then promise to yourself a great life which you want to live for yourself and lead the future generations into that bliss for which India holds the promise. With these opening remarks, ladies and gentlemen, may I take great pleasure in extending a warm welcome to our very distinguished guest, Professor Randeep Guleria ji. I was looking forward for this day to receive you at the university. We are truly delighted, in fact, that you are here. And in front of you, you have our freshers, the first-year students, as well as many of our distinguished faculty colleagues, including my Pro-Vice Chancellor, Dr. Madhukar, sitting in front of you. You have Professor Devra, whom you might be knowing. He is spearheading our air quality research at our university, one of the leading air quality experts of our nation, who has collaboration with NASA, as well as collaboration with the Ministry of Earth and Environmental Sciences. We are monitoring air quality every day in our country from the national monitoring station that we have. And I have every reason to say that we are an oxygen-rich campus. In fact, the air quality this morning, Professor Devra suggests to me PM 2.5 is as low as 15.5 when all the vehicles are moving towards the campus in the morning. It settles down, maybe during the day, it will go down below 10. That is the assured limit actually for safe and healthy life as laid down by WHO. We are also reprocessing every single drop of water in our campus. In fact, all the wastewater that we produce from the hostels, from the campus, from our residences is reprocessed and reutilized, including the house of the Vice Chancellor. No one is spared. And we are saving millions of gallons of fresh water this week, giving the highest level of compliance of water security in our campus with 129 water harvesting pits and a whole lot of effort in waste management. Our campus has received the LEED certification for the energy efficiency, for the environmental compliance from the US Green Building Council. And we have a commitment to lead by example, because universities cannot merely be preachers of knowledge. They have to be practitioners of the best practices so that the younger generation get confidence in the education and research that they adopt here and then go back to the society with courage and confidence to lead by example. And it is this kind of initiative with which, under the visionary direction of our founder president, that we are working here. We are truly proud of you, and we look towards you to understand how science and technology is going to reshape our life in the years to come. Now that science has become very powerful and technology has become all pervasive. Even if you do not want, technology is going to impact you, impact your work life, impact your personal life, impact your social life, and impact everything what you do on planet Mother Earth and even beyond, even if you go to the moon tomorrow. And therefore, you need to take science and technology far more seriously and understand through Professor Guleria how it is going to shape your life so that you remain as a happy, healthy, and blissful individual, making profound contribution from the life existence given to you as the best gift of God. Ladies and gentlemen, give a big hand to welcome our very distinguished guest, Professor Guleria, this morning. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your kind welcoming words. May I now request our Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir, Pro-Vice Chancellor, sir, to felicitate Dr. Guleria with a token of gratitude. Thank you so much, dignitaries. We are highly privileged today to have amongst us a stalwart in medical field, Padma Shri Dr. Randeep Guleria ji. Dr. Randeep Guleria is Professor and Head, Department of Pulmonary Medicine and Sleep Disorders at All India Institute of Medical Sciences, New Delhi, where he has been working since last 23 years. Dr. Guleria is the first Indian to get a doctorate of medicine in pulmonary and critical care medicine. The Department of Pulmonary Medicine and Sleep Disorders has been created under his dynamic leadership in 2011 and has been ranked as the best department in pulmonary medicine in 2014, 15, and 16 by the Nielsen survey published in the week. Dr. Guleria was conferred with the prestigious Padma Shri Award in 2015 by the President of India and recently with Dr. B.C. Roy Award in the category Eminent Medical Person for the year 2014. In addition to these, he has several awards and honors to his credit, notably Himachal Gaurav Award in 2011, 22nd Lal Bahadur Shastri National Award for his excellence, Sitharam Jaipuria Foundation Medical and Healthcare Excellence Award for outstanding contribution in COVID care, Himachal Gaurav Puraskar, LIC ZTV Swasth Bharat Samman, Times Healthcare Achievers Award in the Legends category, National Excellence Award by the TP Jhunjhunwala Foundation, Doctor of the Decade Award by the Indian Medical Association, Doctor of Sciences Honoris Causa by IIT Kharagpur and Amity University, and many more. He has been invited as an expert in several national and international forums, including Center for Disease Control USA to their Influenza Division Study Tour, Advisor to WHO, Scientific Advisor Group of Experts, Geneva, on influenza vaccination and immunization from 2010 to 2013. He has been personal physician to the Prime Minister of India from 1998 to 2004 and personal physician of many national and international dignitaries. He has done pioneering work on respiratory muscle functions, lung cancer, asthma, and COPD, and has more than 400 publications in international and national journals and 49 chapters in various national and international books. He has delivered more than 300 lectures in international and national conferences. Dr. Guleria has been dedicated teacher for undergraduate, postgraduate, and DM fellows for the last 30 years. May I request Dr. Guleria to deliver his distinguished orientation talk on the topic, how science and technology is reshaping our life. So, over to you.
Good morning, and thank you very much for your kind words. Professor P.B. Sharma, Vice Chancellor of Amity University, Professor Vikas Madhukar, Pro Vice Chancellor, Rear Admiral K.K. Pandey, distinguished faculty of the university, the students who have just joined this university, their parents, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I'd like to take this opportunity to really thank Amity University for inviting me for this orientation lecture. And I was in a dilemma as to what should I talk, since I really come from a medical background and it's more of medicine that I could talk about. And also a lot of my talks in the last few years have been more on COVID. So I thought I should move away a little bit from COVID and really discuss with the young students as to how things are changing and why we have to embrace change as we move forwards, especially the young generation, and how things are going to become very different in the next 2 to 3 decades. So I thought I'd talk on how science and technology is actually reshaping our lives like never before. We're actually living through a revolution, even something that we don't realize, but it is going to really affect our life in a great manner. So if you look at how science, society, and technology actually work together, it's important to understand that they are actually interlinked. You have science which does the research, you do a lot of work in a lab, it could be other areas, and this actually provides knowledge which needs to technological development. And the technological development then actually benefits society. But they're interlinked because it's also important that's how you can support one other as far as this is concerned. You can have technology which demands more from science. You have a desire that I wish I could have this type of technology to have a better life in science, and works on making that technology available, whether it be a simple device like a remote, or whether it be vehicles which are electric in nature and therefore decrease your carbon footprint. And if you look at how humans, Homo sapiens, are developed over the last, I would say, since the Neolithic age, science has actually contributed significantly to the rise of Homo sapiens. One of the major differences which happened when Homo sapiens evolved was the increase in the size of their brain. And rather than increasing in the size of their muscle mass, there was an increase in the size of the brain, which led to them becoming more intellectual. Lateral thinking became much more. And that led to Homo sapiens moving from sort of being hunted to becoming the hunters. And that is how it evolved over a period of time. And if you look at the last many centuries, science has actually been playing a very important part as far as our overall development is concerned. Technology, on the other hand, has helped as far as this application of knowledge can be done in day-to-day life. So whether it be tools, machines, space station, robots, all of them have started from science itself and then have got involved into technology. So if you have stone tools, which were there thousands of years ago, you had fire, which came in, and then subsequently, as man or Homo sapiens evolved from being sort of moving from one place to other to settling down, we had clothing and shelter, and that's what the whole evolution has been. So the Industrial Revolution has been a period of great technological discoveries. So what do we mean by the term Industrial Revolution? Industrial Revolution actually means a systemic shift in technology that changes and improves the way that business is done, while creating new businesses across all industries in the economy. So it's something which grows. So if you look at how things happen even in today's time, if there is a technological shift, a lot of other businesses come into that and support that. And that is what drives the Industrial Revolution. And if you start looking at how things happen, even if you go back to the 18th century, a lot of development happened, whether it be the steam engine, which has now led to the huge fast trains that we have, smallpox vaccine, which started with Edward Jenner, and now we have vaccines which are made in less than a year and more refined using mRNA technology. We have sewing machines, which are now become more technologically oriented. And of course, from the old telegraph, we have now smartphones. So a lot of development has occurred. And therefore, we've had the first revolution, the Industrial Revolution, the second Industrial Revolution, the third that happened till 2010, where we looked at electronics and IT coming into a big way. And now we are actually what is known as the fourth Industrial Revolution, which is going to dramatically shift how we look at things by actually looking at a lot of combining the virtual reality with the actual physical reality. So the elements of the fourth Industrial Revolution are characterized by a function of technologies that blur the lines between physical, digital, and biological spheres. So it's something that you're going to see merge into one. And you'll have things like big data analysis, wearable devices, Internet of Things, 3D printing, which we just saw outside. All of this will become something which will be routine as far as the fourth Industrial Revolution is concerned. But like we all say, that this revolution is also going to be a little disruptive. And that is what really needs to be kept in mind. There will be disruption of jobs and skills. So many of you will have to learn new jobs and skills, as all of us have done. And so what course you do today may become irrelevant tomorrow, and you may have to learn new things. I've seen a lot of engineers who actually did engineering in a different area and then moved on to computer science and actually became computer engineers. So a lot of things like this will happen in the future. Innovations, inequality, agile governance, all of this will become something which is very, very important. And we'll move from what we used to see in the past to what we'll see in the future. And I come from a generation which is even further back. And when I was studying in PGI Chandigarh, if I had to call my parents, I had to go to Sector 17, book a trunk call, wait for 2 or 3 hours, and then actually be able to talk to them using what was known as a trunk call. I think the younger generation won't even imagine that such a thing could happen. And then we had STD, which came in. And we were very happy that now you don't have to go to the post office, you can have an STD booth and you can call your parents from nearby or inside PGI. But I could have never imagined at that point in time when I was a student that one day we'll have a device on the palm of our hands by which we could talk, not only talk, but actually see people virtually across any part of the world. That is how things have changed so dramatically. And they're changing at a much faster pace. If you had to order a pizza, you would actually ring up the let's say Domino's for that matter. Now it's all on your smartphone. Same is about hiring a cab. You have to go to the taxi stand to get a cab. Now it's something that you can actually do on your phone using Uber, and say so is what's happening as far as a lot of education is concerned. What is the significance of the fourth industrial revolution? It will fundamentally alter the way we live, work, and relate to each other. The scale and scope and complexity will transfer and will have transformation which will be unlike anything humanity has experienced before. So what we will see in the future is going to be even faster as far as change is concerned, and it's going to be very, very disruptive. And I think that's why it's something that is important to keep in mind. Also, although I've talked a lot about science, technology, engineering, and medicine, I think there's also an element of art. So from STEM, it has to become STEAM, which is science, technology, engineering, arts, and medicine. And there has to be integration and cross-pollination. No specialty alone can adequately meet current challenges and demands of contemporary society. And therefore, humanities and arts need to be creative methodologies, knowing the world and developing modes of knowledge production. It also needs to drive diverse ideas and provoke unexpected conversation. So as young generation, I think this is what you need to do. Think outside the box. Look at other specialities and provoke others in terms of a conversation so that you get ideas which are not in only your domain, but in other domains itself. Even medicine for that matter, is not only science itself, but there's an art in medicine. How do you interact with your patient, the empathy with your patient? How do you talk to your patient? So it's very, very important. I'll briefly discuss how this has impacted healthcare, because that's where I come from. So the healthcare is one sector which is going to be exposed a lot to the technological evolution. And we're seeing that. We saw that in COVID. We had the COVID app, we had teleconsultations, we were able to talk to our patients at their residence. We had patients who were COVID positive on home isolation. They could monitor their oxygen saturation and we could treat them without them having to come to the hospital. And this is really going to change how we interact with patients and caregivers. And this is something that we need to keep in mind. Core areas that will actually get changed are new methods of treatment and diagnosis. We'll have monitoring of a patient's health status, which could be done remotely. You could monitor your patient's saturation, blood pressure. We're already doing that through various devices. Even your watch that you have will give you your ECG and various other parameters. And there will be innovation in the management and organization of healthcare, and access to healthcare will become very, very easy. So just to give you some of the applications that can be there, you could have artificial intelligence, the Internet of Things, augmented reality, you'll have genome editing, robotics, 3D printing, and big data analysis. And all of these can actually change how medicine is going to be practiced in the next 10 years. And this is also going to happen in other areas as far as technology is concerned. So this is a paper we published during the COVID epidemic, where we used artificial intelligence to look at chest X-rays and be able to diagnose COVID-19. And this was done by using an AI-based tool where we looked at X-rays before COVID-19 and then looked at X-rays which were done during COVID-19 and transformed them. And we were able to clearly say that even if you were not able to do the RT-PCR test or it was taking a longer time, the X-ray itself had a very high sensitivity and specificity of diagnosing whether there was a patch in the lung suggesting COVID pneumonia. Similarly, you have the Internet of Things, which are really the wearable devices and the non-wearable devices. This will change how medicine is going to be practiced. You could have your patients wearing this device and it could predict a heart attack before it happens. It could predict a worsening of a patient's health status, whether it be his blood sugar or his blood pressure, even before it happens, and raise red flags not only to the patient, but to the treating physician. So wearable devices will come in a big way, not only as far as diagnosis is concerned, but as far as therapeutics is concerned. Augmented reality. This is another area which will come into a big way, where you will have the users, you could actually have the patient thinking that he's at his home. By making augmented reality, you could have a patient who comes out from surgery or comes out from the operation theater, is in an ICU, but you could make him feel that he's actually in his own home, in his own bed, with the surrounding which are very familiar to him, and that will help to decrease his anxiety. So augmented reality in healthcare will come into a big way. We already have genome editing in healthcare, which is again something that we need to look at, and it has ethical implications as far as this technology is concerned. But genome editing will actually be able to look at very genetic diseases and modify them so that we can actually get rid of these as far as genome editing is concerned. And a lot of diseases for which no cure is currently available, so-called dreaded diseases, will actually be treatable with genome editing. We'll also have a lot of tissue generation which will happen. It could be using bioscaffolds, it could be using various other transplantation techniques, organoids, and we're also looking at interspecies chimerism, where you could actually look at growing something, an organ in an animal, and then transplanting it into a human. So these are technologies which are not that far off. They're already in a stage where they could come into clinical practice very quickly. And of course, we have robotics in healthcare. Robotics are useful as far as surgery is concerned. We all know about robotic surgery, but they could come into a lot of other areas. And even during COVID-19, robotics were used to go into wards which were having patients with COVID-19 to distribute medicine. Robots were used for that. Even cleaning of the wall and the floor was done using various robotic devices so that they could be done without humans being present out there, and therefore the risk of infection was less. 3D printing also is available, and you can actually reconstruct parts of a bone or parts of the skull and transplant it to patients, which fits exactly as you want it to, as far as 3D printing. You can do 3D printing of an area and you can study that of the patient. So if you have a spine surgery to be done, you can look at the MRI and do 3D printing of the spine, and then decide what is the length of the screw that you have to put in there, or what is the length of the device that you have to put in there before you go take the patient for surgery. So this is also going to come into a big way. And I think you're going to see a lot of big data analysis, whether it be for decision-making, telemedicine, personalized medicine. And this is where all of you will actually be involved in, because this is something which is beyond what clinicians are doing today. And a lot of young people with bright ideas should be able to drive this as far as the future is concerned. So just some examples: we have smart watches which can detect cardiac arrhythmias or falls of wearers and automatically alert ambulances and emergency services using GPS location trackers. So this is something which is already available there. You have mobile apps which can actually detect a contagious infection. It's being used using a simple phone in Africa with an Ebola outbreak, where by giving messages, you can say that there's an Ebola outbreak in this district, and the population there is then advised not to go into that area. Genetic sequencing and AI is allowing development of innovative disease treatment, which I've already discussed. So when we start looking at it, we are going to see a huge change, which is going to be driven by the need and driven by technology. But I think we also need to look at the biosphere and see that we're able to keep the environment good and healthy as far as humans are concerned and animals are concerned, and also look at social needs so that this disruptive technology which comes in doesn't lead to an increase in social divide. Or what is going to happen is that science and technology will be part of our entire human lifespan, right from in vitro fertilization as far as embryo maturation is concerned, to various devices, to surgeries, to even management as far as old age is concerned. Science and technology will be across the human lifespan. So I'll shift gears slightly and also now focus on what is actually changing and why we need all of this science and technology to be done in a proper manner. So we have new centuries, new problems, and times are changing. And I think what we have seen in the last this century, for the last 23 years, is a century of outbreaks. We've had the SARS outbreak. We've had two pandemics in the last 23 years, the H1N1 pandemic, which is known as swine flu, and the COVID-19 pandemic. Along with that, we have outbreak of MERS, Zika virus, Ebola virus outbreaks, and we've had H5N1, which is also known as bird flu. So why are we seeing this increasing new infections in this last 23 years? And this is driven by these four factors. One is travel, trade, and connectivity. We are traveling like never before. Growing urbanization, encroachment into new environments, and global warming. So if you look at travel, trade, and connectivity, from most of history, we as humans have actually lived in small areas and we have lived isolated from each other. So people who lived in their village stayed in their village. People who lived in a district or a country, by and large, stayed in that district or country. But what is happening now, you can travel from one part of the world to the other in a matter of few hours. You will travel, you will take the virus with you will take the infection with you. And if you're in the incubation period, this will not be even picked up by whatever screening mechanisms you had. So this has led to a huge spread of infection because of more travel, trade, and also we have growing challenge with urbanization. If you look at the shift, there's a huge shift as far as the population is concerned from what is known as the rural population to the urban population. The shift into the urban areas is becoming more and more dramatic. This is leading to close proximity of large number of people, poor sanitation, and this allows a lot of diseases to spread, especially vector-borne diseases like dengue, chikungunya, and even malaria. Also, if you look at a basic infection, because of this crowding and growing urbanization, there is a bit more interaction between humans and animals, and this leads to a higher chance of infection. If you look at what has happened in the last 23 years, all the infections that we've had, outbreaks that we've had, have been actually of zoonotic origin. Viruses which had an animal or a bird origin, jumped species, became human virus, evolved into having good human-to-human spread, and led to an outbreak and pandemic. So zoonotic contact continues to generate many epidemics, and therefore we need to look at this with great caution. And of course, we all know what's happening as far as global warming is concerned. You just have to read the news and you have fires and floods happening across the world because of increasing temperature and global warming. So when we look at all this, the whole concept comes of what is known as One Health. One Health concept is basically looking at human health and animal health as interdependent and as well as being linked to the health of the ecosystem to which we are all a part. So when we talk of health, we need to talk of it now as one health, not only our own health, but the health of animals, plants, and the environment. And unless we do that, we will not be able to decrease the number of outbreaks that we have been seeing in the last 23 years. So there has to be an understanding that development has to be in terms of one health rather than just human health. How did science and technology and society fare during COVID-19? And I think there was a lot that we did, whether it be rapid development of the vaccination, the COVID app, a lot of dissemination of knowledge, and a lot of research that was done. Why is it important to have research at this point in time? This is because pandemics affect every state of life. It affects livelihoods, human health. We lost a lot of our people we knew because of the pandemic, and there was a lot of illness and death. It led to challenges as far as governance and security was concerned. There was a lot of change as far as social and humanitarian needs were concerned. We had laborers or the daily wage workers migrating, walking hundreds and thousands of miles back to their villages, and it led to disruption as far as the economies were concerned. So it's very important for us to really see what we can do. Along with this, it also had other indirect impacts. One was the education system. Schools were closed and millions of children were learning from home, and many actually dropped out from school. The unprivileged and women or the female students were less likely to return to school. Nutrition and other crises developed, and there was also a housing crisis because this also was driven by the pandemic. So there is a lot of issues that we had as far as the pandemic was concerned. Science and technology helped a lot because it helped in awareness, it helped in the research going on into various technologies, which helped as far as this was concerned. But there are other issues that really come up. And one of them is how the pandemic can have an effect as far as humanity is concerned. Historians have already studied the way that previous pandemics have affected social behavior. We need to study the wider cultural, social, and economic challenge of COVID-19 to better understand the pandemic of the future. So what we really need to do, and this is what the younger generation needs to look at, it's not only the health part, but look at the pandemic from anthropology, economics, philosophy, psychology, literature, and arts for years to come. And I'll just give you what we need to look at for as far as anthropological studies. interconnection of humans in the 20th century, 21st century and pandemics. We had the whole issue of blame, confrontation, racism during the pandemics. That's something that one needs to evaluate. Discrimination against caregivers during the pandemics. A lot of our healthcare workers had a huge discrimination. They were actually, many of them who were staying in rented accommodation were asked to leave because there was such a fear that they would actually bring the virus into that area. And there was mistrust as far as the vaccine efficacy was concerned. And we had a lot of conspiracy theorists also. There were psychological studies that also need to be done. They were because of loneliness, because of the lockdown and other issues. There were mental health issues during the pandemic. And there was a rise in stress and suicides. And if you look at previous pandemics, and I'll just give you two examples, these are issues which have actually changed society in a big manner. If you look at the pandemic, which was known as the Justinian plague, which happened during the 16th century AD, during the Byzantine period, it was the first major pandemic due to bubonic plague. And it was felt that this was basically a punishment by the gods for the unjust rule of Emperor Justin. And everyone became more religious for a while. But after some time, as history tells us, they felt they were free and they went back to their old behavior. So the fear factor was there only for a short duration. If you look at the impact of the Black Death in Europe, which was also something which caused a huge amount of deaths, it caused great socioeconomic, cultural, and religious changes. After the initial horrors, society staged a spectacular recovery. And we had the Renaissance period, which started after that. The plague actually decreased the influence of the Catholic Church. And because a large number of people died, it also led to a decline in feudalism. New society and mobility meant that individuals became more respected, and it led to the art and literature actually flourished during this time. And there was more scientific discovery. So we need to look at the pandemic not only from the health point of view, but from various other points of view. I had written an article before the pandemic. This was basically looking at the 1918 pandemic and looking at 100 years after the 1918 pandemic and saying that we are still vulnerable and we need to be better prepared. This was an article that was written in of March of 2018, that after 100 years of the pandemic of 1918, we are still vulnerable and we need to be looking at it in a more justified manner. But I think there are ethical concerns also that came up during the pandemic, and this is something that we need to really consider. Although science has made tremendous advancement during the pandemic of the past, our cutting-edge responses were challenged by philosophical questions. New technologies and treatment advances bring with them new ethical concerns, and I'll just give you a few examples. When ICU beds and ventilators are limited and large number of patients develop respiratory failure during COVID-19, who gets the admission in the ICU? We had this dilemma. We had patients in ambulances outside our emergency, and we had really limited beds. How do we decide whom should we admit and whom should we deny admission? Who gets the limited ventilators and oxygen support during this time? These are ethical questions. If advanced countries spend billions of dollars in research and develop treatment and vaccines, how do we have equity in distributing these? How do they get distributed between the rich and the poor? And sometimes you have higher mortality in poor countries because of the socioeconomic factors. Do poor countries pay an exorbitant sum for these therapies and vaccines? And this happened at times. And that is why I think we need to be proud as Indians that we were able to make our own vaccine and did not have to rely on vaccines from the West, because many countries actually had to sort of pay a huge price as far as vaccines which are coming from the West was concerned. And do the rich guard the patented technologies from those who need it? And this was a big ethical question, that during a pandemic, do we need to really have patent guards or not? But other examples is, and this is more philosophical, a famous sports person whom we all know was denied the opportunity to participate in a tournament because he refused to get vaccinated. And this was basically linked to a person who was a tennis player. As an autonomous person, does he have the right to deny consent for any vaccine or treatment? And do the governments have the right to impose vaccine mandate for the greater good? How is this affecting vaccine efficacy and safety? And I think these are all questions, including lockdown questions, that we need to keep in mind. So I'll just conclude by saying that science and technology are dramatically changing our lives like never before, but they do not set their priorities or decide what we do with the discovery. So discoveries that happen because of science and technology are for us to look at how they can benefit society. They can be disruptive at times. They have given us as a society unimaginable opportunities as far as the new challenges are concerned. And many of these technologies that I mentioned are in the early stage, but are just around the corner. In the healthcare system, they will be very effective. And I think this is something that we all and especially you as the younger generation, need to really see how can we use these new technologies which are coming in because of science in a more humane, ethical manner to benefit society rather than causing problems for them. I'll stop, but before I stop, I just wanted to give 5 messages for the students of today. And those are more sort of from my own point of view. One was that it doesn't matter what you achieved or did not achieve in the past, you need to look ahead. Many of you may have come from a different background and may have not achieved a lot in the past, but that doesn't really matter. You really need to move ahead and see how you can make the best of your career when you start now. This is a new beginning, and I wish you all the best, but don't get bogged down by the past. Look how you can actually move forward. And I can tell you from my own personal experience that it's how you actually change and evolve as far as the future is concerned that is more important than what you did or did not achieve in the past. The second most important message is have a passion for what you do. You must love and enjoy the work that you are doing. If you have a passion for what you do, nothing else will matter. And you will excel in that area because you will be passionate in that. If you don't like what you're doing, don't do it. Find what you like to do and please follow that dream. I think that is something which is very, very important. Then life is like a roller coaster. It will have its ups and downs. So when you're having your up, it's important to be humble and be grateful to God for what you have. But if you have your down, if you are in the down, you must really have a positive attitude and things will improve. The issue is, do you want to really be in the middle of a sea which is silent and have just float there? Or do you want to ride the waves and really reach the seashore and have a rough journey, but really with lots of ups and downs? I think you would really prefer the later part. And life is constant learning. I think what I've tried to tell you in my talk also is that what you've learned today will become irrelevant tomorrow. So you need to really continue to learn. Never think that you know enough and now you have to stop learning. You have to keep learning. And I would actually go one step ahead and say, think outside the box. Learn things that are not part of your course, but are something that interests you. There has to be out of the box thinking and moving out of your silos. Technology has now actually blurred all the initial boundaries that we had. And it's very, very important that you sort of look at the learning that is across areas rather than focused only into your area or your own specialty. And finally, I think if you really need to move forward, a healthy mind and body is essential to succeed. So take care of your health, do play, do go out, take a sport, but also have methods of de-stressing yourself. Don't get stressed. This is a time when people do get stressed a lot. So therefore, a healthy mind and body is also very, very important for you to succeed. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing such useful insights and motivating our aspirational freshers by sharing such valuable 5 tips. We are really privileged to hear from you, sir. Thank you so much for sparing your valuable time. May I request our Director HR, Rear Admiral K.K. Pandey, sir, to kindly propose the vote of thanks, please.
From 2017 onwards. Yeah, we have been monitoring air quality parameters here in our campus since 2017 for surface measurements. For columnar measurements, we have been also operating simultaneously NASA AirNets. And in fact, we have been further trying now to get the physical profiling of these pollutants, which were not available in the country now. So in fact, by looking at this long-term observations, what I have been making here, I just wanted to ask you about your suggestion that we know very well from the observations that size, pollutant size, and intensity of the health problem, whether it is animal or human being, they are inversely proportional. This is universal truth, and then we have been observing this. Can we make use of this relationship or analogy in the drug development or drug delivery? That is my first, because we are now more concerned about the drug delivery development process rather than medicine. So this is my first clarification I want. The second one is it possible we have been equating or we have been trying to relate different type of pollutants with different types of diseases? Say, for example, dust, respiration problem, major problem. And then another one is PAHs, poly, and for lung cancer. So like this, is it possible for us to segregate different diseases with different pollutant, types of pollutants?
Thank you so much.
If so,
Professor
how
Devra.
long it will take for the country to get
Professor-
that type of information?
Professor
These are the
Devra.
two.
Thank you so much. I think we'll have a quick answer from him.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
I
yeah.
would request
That's all.
you,
These are the only two.
I would request you that after our vote of thanks, if you can come out and you can have one-on-one with him for further clarification. Please, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
So thank you very much. Thank you very much for the questions. Yes, you're right that we can look at the inverse relationship does exist. And one can look at this in terms of seeing how one can look at drug delivery. But more important, I think, is the preventive aspects rather than the, let's say, curative aspects. And those are something that we need to see. How can we keep the environment better? Regarding the link between various diseases and the pollutants, this is something that is a great cause of concern because it's something that we have to be able to show in clinical research. And we had started a project which was basically done with Imperial College and University of Edinburgh, where we were looking at wearable devices which would which could monitor the pollution. It would go onto a cloud and there was a real-time recording. And we could see the pollutants in school children who were asthmatic and monitoring them while they went to school, while they came home. We put even devices in the school and in their houses to have a better idea of which pollutant was actually leading to worsening of asthma. That was one package of the protocol. The other was in pregnant women to see whether exposure to pregnant women could lead to changes in the newborn and monitoring their intrauterine growth and other things to see whether that could have an effect. We did find a correlation and we had some findings also. Just as an sort of a humorous story, I'll just say something that happened. We were monitoring one student and we found that he came back from school and then he went out and suddenly his the graph went outside the range. It showed very high levels of pollution, but he had really not traveled anywhere and we couldn't figure out what he had done until that struck us that he had gone out to have a cigarette smoke and that pollution had risen in the wearable devices because of the student going out to smoke. And then we had this debate, should we inform the parents or not regarding the child, because that was another ethical issue. So devices are there. We will get that clinical data over a period of time.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Very good morning to the dignitaries on the dais, HOIs, HODs, faculty members, and above all, my dear students. It's my proud privilege to present the formal vote of thanks to Padma Shri Dr. Randeep Guleria ji. Well, during the difficult times from 2020 to 2022, when we were hit by the COVID and the pandemic times, almost everyone, the entire nation used to look forward for the briefings by Dr. Randeep Guleria on both electronic media as also in the print media, because his briefings were always so accurate, so balanced, so correct. It always eliminated all our doubts or the rumors which were there in the sky and for us to grasp. But his briefings made us do some very correct preventive measures. And that's how I think India, everybody appreciates the world over that India had managed it pretty well. Though, of course, we had some casualties, but it has been still managed very well. So we will always remain very thankful to you, sir, for all your briefings throughout. And today, I would say all the Emittans are very fortunate because we have always seen you on electronic media or on the print media. But today, they have heard you in person. It's our privilege that you could come here and they could hear you one-on-one. So we are
AICTE
very, very
University
thankful to you, sir. Thank you. Sir, because of paucity of time, maybe I'll just say that on behalf of our founder president, Dr. Ashok Chauhan, who in just 2.5 decades time has built up some 30 universities and is providing education to so many people in India and abroad. Our own Honorable Chancellor, who is so dynamic and always pushes us to cross the borders and think beyond the limits and get to some excellent results. Our Honorable Vice Chancellor, it is his 10th year here, and his words of wisdom has always mesmerized the young students. And my young and dynamic Pro Vice Chancellor, who has been here associated with us since 2002, on behalf of everyone, we really sincerely extend our gratitude to you. And your words of wisdom, which have been sent out today, I think you summarized it so well, and talking about technicalities, science, technology, and then coming down to 5 mantras that you gave it to them, which included looking ahead, passion, ups and downs of life to be tackled carefully, and constant learning as also healthy mind and body. I think you have spoken a lot, and people were, I saw that, there was not a single person who was sleeping. Everybody was attentive to your address. So we are really thankful to you, sir, for sparing your time. I know you are a very busy person and coming here and sharing your experiences. At the end, I would request all the students and dear colleagues to give a standing ovation to our guests. Thank you. Thank you. You miss it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, Dr. Guleria, for sparing your valuable time with all of us. Our next guest is again a very distinguished figure. This is Dr. T.G. Sitharam, the Honorable Chairman of AICTE. He'll be soon here with us. Meanwhile, we request all the students to be seated. We're going to show you a small video. Kindly be seated. Honorable Chairman, AICTE. Kindly welcome him. Thank you. Kindly be seated. We also have amongst us Dr. Deepan Sahu, who is the Assistant Innovation Director, Ministry of Education Innovation Cell. We welcome you, sir. May I request Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir, Pro Vice Chancellor, sir, along with our distinguished dignitaries, Dr. T.G. Sitharaman and Dr. Deepan Sahu, to kindly light the lamp of knowledge.
या कुन्तेन्दु तुषारहारधवला या शुभ्रवस्त्रावृता या वीणावरदण्डमण्डितकरा या श्वेतपद्मासना या ब्रह्माच्युतशङ्कर प्रभृतिभिः देवैः सदा वन्दिता सा मां पातु सरस्वती भगवती निःशेषजाड्यापहा शुक्लां ब्रह्मविचारसार परमा आद्यां जगद्व्यापिनीं वीणा पुस्तकधारिणीम् अभयदा जाड्या.
Thank you so much, sir. May I now request our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. P.V. Sharma, sir, to welcome our esteemed guests and address the gathering, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, my very dear student friends, the freshers, the class of 2023, heads of the institutions, members of the faculty, officers of the university, on behalf of our Honorable Founder President, Dr. Ashok Chauhan, on behalf of my Honorable Chancellor, Dr. Sim Chauhan, and on my personal behalf, I take immense privilege and pleasure to extend a very warm welcome to our very distinguished guest this morning, the Honorable Chairman of AICTE, All India Council of Technical Education, Dr. Sitharam ji with us this morning. Sir, your august presence on this momentous occasion when the freshers are embarking upon their journey on the path to excellence in education, research, causing innovations in plenty and rolling out startups during their time here at our university to empower our great nation with science and technology capabilities of the kind unprecedented, to make Mother India proud of their contributions, to march with confidence, courage, and conviction, to make a new and bigger and profound meaning of science and technology for improving the quality of life of a common man. On this momentous occasion, we take immense pride in welcoming you, sir, in our university. Amity University, Haryana is comparatively a new university, but I take immense pride in informing each one of you that despite being new, we have a bigger resolve to make contributions and lead by example in the areas of science and technology, liberal art, legal education, of course, allied medical education, and a whole lot of disciplines that are so important to empower our younger generation to prepare themselves as the new age professionals. Here in our university, under the visionary leadership of our Honorable Founder President, Dr. Ashok Chauhan, for whom education and research and innovation is not just a mission, but a mission to be pursued with passion, with great passion and conviction, that we assure for ourselves that we contribute our very best to cause the layers of education to be of the highest quality, to foster an environment in which path-breaking research and mind-boggling technology innovation take place, to ensure that we lead by example in whatever we do here, including maintaining an oxygen-rich campus, which we have, sir. The air quality here is at least 3 times better than the Millennium City of Gurugram throughout the year, and also at least 4 times better than what you will have in the national capital city of Delhi. It could not have been possible without taking care of the environment in which we want to live and learn in harmony with nature in a university like ours. No wonder we have been certified by the US Green Building Council with the LEED Platinum certification as early as 2017, when we were the only university from India to achieve the distinction of LEED Platinum certification for the green building designs, for the environmental compliance, and for the energy efficiency of the kind with which we are leading the universities of the country. We are also equally proud of the commitment we have made to foster areas of innovations and research and development in our university. We have as many as 99 higher-end research and development projects, which are funded by government and private agencies, including European Union and several other consortium from around the world who look towards our university to engage the young inspired minds in research and innovations of great value to humanity. We also take immense pride in being Indian, and we foster here in our environment the concept of Indianness that requires to be truthful, that requires to be self-disciplined, that requires taking our forefathers seriously and yet keeping our eyes focused on the future that we want to create on our own strength and commitment and conviction with which we want to march ahead to create India of our dream. We are very much conscious, sir, here in our university that we focus on creating advantage India out of our effort. And this requires realigning our research and innovations to the developmental and technology goals of our own country. For a very long time, our higher education, including the higher technical education, has been creating advantage America, advantage Canada, advantage United Kingdom, advantage Europe, even advantage Japan and advantage South Korea. But we were not focusing enough on creating advantage India from the effort that we invest. The time has come now where the entire higher education of the country, including the research and development that we carry out in our laboratories, in our test houses, and also in our research centers, in the colleges and universities in India, is to be realigned to the needs of our country. And therefore, all we do here need to be audited from the point of view whether our outcome is going to strengthen the resolve for the Atmanirbhar Bharat, the resolve by which the Mother India will be empowered with the science and technology of the kind that is required to create a bright future for our own 1.4+ billion people here and 7 billion+ people around the globe. While we are focused on our national goals, our aspirations are to serve the vast humanity as well. And therefore, blending modernity with the antiquity remains as an important hallmark of our university pedagogy. We take immense pride in being part of a world where we have a common future, and therefore our efforts here in this university are to shape the new age professionals who will make Mother India proud by contributing their very best to the advancement of our great nation, but it will also be, they would be outstanding global citizens of the new world in which we all wish to live. And it is here we are trying to rediscover now what value can be created by the new innovations and advancement that we are causing on the science and technology front. We all know that science and technology is all pervasive. Even if you say that I don't believe in science or technology, it does not matter. You and I would not be here without science and technology. You were created by science, and you have been resurrected and elevated to this level by technology. Your mobility, your brain, your communication, the entire network you have inside, your body limbs and body parts, as well as your entire biological and physical development is all promised by science and technology that is working inside. Your metabolism, your genetics is ensuring that you remain happy and healthy. It is science that ensures that the girls look like their father and most of the boys look like their mothers. Whether you like it or not, science is all pervasive, and even if you negate it, does not matter. It works upon you, and it is going to work much more in the coming years now that we have discovered the infinite power of science and of course infinite might of technology. Question remains, are we going to create a bright future on the strength of science and technology that is causing a major disruption and also often given us a warning that science and technology could be utilized for the madness of man to destroy this beautiful world around? We need to now ask ourselves what kind of science and technology education that we need to pursue in order to empower ourselves with the education and research and innovation capabilities that will create this beautiful world in which we want to live. This world has to be sustainable. This world has to be having inclusive development so that no one is left behind. And we need to serve the cause of one and all around the globe, because we are part of one world and one family, as our forefathers have told us long back at the early dawns of our civilization, Vasudha Ev Kutumbakam. And it is with this kind of understanding here in our university, sir, that we are serving the cause of younger generation, which joins our university year after year. And I take immense pride in being the Vice Chancellor of a university which leads by example, which has a commitment and conviction to work shoulder to shoulder with our great scientists of the world and ensure that Mother India is empowered with the quality of human resource, quality of research and development, and also the power of innovation in science and technology that is required to create India of our dream. We are firmly committed to ensure that we make tremendous progress, both on the economic front, but also conscious that we cannot sacrifice the interest of the built environment around. And that is why the quality of air, the quality of water, the quality of food, and the quality of work environment and our work habits, including the lifestyle, is a matter of concern as well as care at our university. We take immense pride in also saying that we are a vegetarian university. And not only here, but all 12 universities around the nation take pride in ensuring that we do not kill anything for our food. And unless you have conviction in this kind of pledge which our forefathers have made, how can you talk of world peace tomorrow when India has to be the ambassadors of the global peace for which our nation has deeply committed to? We are also here to ensure that the student community is self-disciplined. Let the Vice Chancellor not tell you what to do and what not to do. You should be responsible for yourself, and you must watch your own conduct and behavior to say that you are a human, and human to the core of your conviction. And it is here, the education that we impart here, the behavioral aspect that we create, and the personality that we generate in you holds a promise to create a beautiful world around. Ladies and gentlemen, on this day, when the Sitharam 2023 has begun just 2 days ago, we had the great privilege of having no one less than Professor Dr. Sitharam with us, who is heading as the Honorable Chairman of All India Council of Technical Education. Sir is a very serious lot. He had been a professor at ISC Bangalore. He has been director of IIT Guwahati before coming to Delhi. And sir is deeply committed. He is a responsible global citizen, deeply committed to empower Mother India with the layers of science and technology, education, research that will create the pathways for development for Atmanirbhar Bharat, of a developed India of our dream in the foreseeable future. We take immense pride in extending a warm welcome to you, sir, on behalf of the entire Amity University Haryana family, and look towards you for your guidance to inspire us how best we can impart this education, science and technology education, along with the layers of humanities and liberal arts embedded with it, with a profound understanding of science of life as well as science of healthy life. How can we go forward, giving the education and training to our youngsters present here in the next 3 or 4 years and prepare them as the outstanding professionals of the new world, which is in the making, the new India that is in the making. With these words, ladies and gentlemen, may I take immense pleasure in extending a very warm welcome to our very distinguished guest this afternoon, Dr. T.G. Sitharam, sir. Thank you so much. I'm sure my Honorable Chancellor would have been here, but he had to be at Bangalore today because our Amity University at Bangalore is making a headway this academic session. He asked me to especially convey his warmest regards and greetings to Dr. Sitharam, sir, who is so valuable to Mother India and so valuable to the Amity community. Also, my Honorable Founder President, I'm sure, must be watching this program online, and he will be equally delighted to see your august presence at our university campus. We look towards you for your inspiring words of wisdom to be delivered to our freshers today. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much, sir, for your warm welcoming words. May I now request Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir, and Pro Vice Chancellor, sir, to felicitate Professor Dr. T.G. Sitharam with a token of gratitude. One more, sir. So we have one more. Thank you so much, sir. Let me take the privilege in introducing Professor Dr. T.G. Sitharam, Honorable Chairman, All India Council of Technical Education. Professor Dr. T.G. Sitharam took over as Chairman, All India Council of Technical Education, Government of India on December 21st, 2022. He was the Director of Indian Institute of Technology, Guwahati, Assam for 3.5 years. He obtained his bachelor's in civil engineering from University of Mysore, master's from Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore, and PhD from University of Waterloo, Ontario, Canada. He worked as a lecturer at University of Waterloo soon after his PhD and later moved to University of Texas at Austin. He also held the position of director at Central Institute of Technology, Kokrajhar, Assam for 1.5 years. Presently, he is the chairman, Board of Governors at CIT, Kokrajhar, and chairman, Board of Management of Northeast Regional Institute of Science and Technology, Arunachal Pradesh. He is a senior professor in Department of Civil Engineering, Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore, and has served ISC for last 30 years. He held KSIIDC Chair Professor in the area of Energy and Mechanical Sciences, Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore from 2015 to 2018. He was instrumental in starting a Center for Infrastructure, Sustainable Transport and Urban Planning and Master's Program in the center at ISC Bangalore. He has served as a visiting or honorary professor at many universities in the countries such as Japan, Canada, USA, Hong Kong, Australia, and Republic of China. He has published 500 technical papers, 20 books with Google Scholar, and has more than 8,614 citations. He has guided 40 PhD students, 35 master students, and 25 postdoctoral students, and several thousand industry professionals and teachers through continuing education workshops. He has filed for 5 patents, executed more than 120 consulting projects, and 2 startup companies to his credit. He was listed in the world's top 2% of scientists for the most cited research scientists in various disciplines of Stanford University in 2020. Again, his name appeared in the top 2% of scientists in Elsevier by Stanford University in 2021 and 2022. He was part of an 8-member expert panel set up to supervise Ram Temple Foundation laying work for Sri Ram Janmabhoomi Teerth Kshetra at Ayodhya. He is a fellow of ASCE, fellow of ICE, diplomat of geotechnical engineering from Academy of Geoprofessionals, ASCE, honorary fellow of IGS, fellow of ICET, fellow of ISES, and many other societies. He's also a certified professional engineer and chartered engineer from Institution of Engineers. He has received Sir M. Vishweshwara Senior Scientist State Award for the year 2020 on 23rd March 2023 in the presence of Bharat Ratna Professor CNR Rao and other dignitaries at ISC Bangalore. I would request Professor Sitharaman for his valuable address, please.
Namaskar. Very silent. Namaste to everyone. Namaskar. Very good afternoon to all of you. Professor Dr. P.B. Sharma, Vice Chancellor, Amity University. Professor Dr. Vikas Madhukar, Pro Vice Chancellor, Amity University, Haryana. And all the other distinguished faculty, the new students who have joined Amity University, Haryana this year for their various programs, teachers, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, let me wish the very best to all the students who have chosen Amity University, Haryana as their learning destination. I wish you the very best. I know you had several choices. You have chosen Amity University for your own reason to learn and also get skilled yourself so that you are ready for the future. First of all, let me offer congratulations to all of you for getting selected here, getting into different programs. I wish you the very best in your future career as well as studies. I'm very happy to see that this orientation program is being organized, particularly inviting several distinguished people to tell you about the status of the science and technology in the country. In addition to that, you also been asked to give the talks on 21st century skills and future of work and many sessions. More than that, there are some talks I just noticed in the agenda program, role of values and ethics in life. Then corporate expectations from future leaders, overview of academic delivery, teaching, learning, and introduction of research and innovation culture in the university. So let me congratulate the Amity University, Haryana, with coming up which is a 3-day program, 4-day program, 4-day induction program. As you know, AICTE actually also has a 3 weeks induction program because we wanted students to immerse themselves in a new environment. Many of you first time leaving your home, leaving your parents, coming out and to a campus like this. And how many of you are staying in the campus? So many of them also travel to the campus, almost 50% are here. So sometimes, many of you, it is the first time away from your parents. So it's very important for you to understand what is university program offers to you. Before I start talking about the, today I chose to speak on artificial intelligence and how pervasive it is. But before that, I thought, let me give you some piece of simple advices, because we have come from small villages. Many of you might also are coming from a small villages, first time coming out to an university wherein you would like to follow your passion. It's very important to follow your passion. What you would like to do with undeterred mind, you should simply have a goal and follow that. Very important to accept that you are in a new place. Embrace the change. Whatever change in comes life, don't say, I have to be like this and ye khana hai humko, ye karna hai. But I think you should leave, you should change. That change is actually good for everyone. So you should accept that you are here for a larger cause, for learning. So while doing that, you have to change. But at the same time, you have to be present where you are. In an university like this, you have to understand the surroundings and be present. Make valued, authentic connections. See, some around you, all kinds of people will be there. You have to make very valued, authentic connections, which will go very long way. So many of you will remember your hostels, may not be the university or a teacher who taught you, but definitely where you stayed in your hostel life, interacting with your own colleague, friends, and having a cup of tea in the evening or late night, midnight, you will always cherish that forever. One other important thing you should remember is around you when you are making new friends or new environment, getting adjusted to new environment, you have to embrace the imperfections. See, this world is not everything is perfect. Okay, and everybody is not perfect, including us. So you have to see how to embrace the imperfections. You need to understand that imperfections will be there in life. Prioritize the self case. You have to also remember you are here for a purpose. That is to get your whatever degree you have chosen. So focus on that. You never have to leave that focus. At the end, so I saw, in the program, there are people talking to you on ethics, values. So you have to also practice gratitude. At the end, you need to thank you someone. I think every day, if you do once the thank you, that makes you a perfect man. Don't hesitate to say thank you. It's a small world, small life, small period. Friends, we are in a digital era, which is exciting. What changes we are seeing every day, whether it is your smartphones or social media, world is fast changing with disruptive innovations. And it is impacting every sphere of your life. Many times you may not even know how technology has entered your life. It is pervasive. And even in education sector, it is so. So if you have come from a conventional schools, where one teacher used to be there in our primary education, so suddenly you will have a shock here. The technology has entered, you will have flipped classrooms, many new changes also. Friends, this disruptive innovations propelled by digital and communication technology is in fact offering many advantages for us, all of us. There is a large number of people who are looking at this, and AI is one subject. Artificial intelligence is one topic or one area which has occupied the center stage across all industries, sectors, from pharma to defense, automobile, environment, sustainability, healthcare, and all engineering and information technology. This is to name a few, because AI has, friends, AI is already here. Many times you may not be knowing AI is not the future technology. Many times you are already using artificial intelligence tools in your daily life, including the Google, map, which tells you where to go, what to do, Consumer behavior actually will drive through that. You have seen the social media, predicting what you like. It remembers you. Okay, if you have bought a t-shirt somewhere, it will tell you, okay, or it will show you different t-shirts available in different shops immediately on your platforms. You might have seen that. That means it remembers and drive the brand experience for you. All this is happening how? Is because of artificial intelligence. Human performed jobs could disappear. Many places, if you don't upgrade yourself, whether you have chosen civil engineering or biotechnology, you need to upgrade yourself with digital technologies. The regular jobs like human performed jobs could disappear from audio to text transcription to translation. You name it, what kind of jobs, all job profiles will change. According to the recent research, worldwide spending by government and businesses on artificial intelligence technology is expected to top $500 billion in this year itself. So this is not a technology of the future, ladies and gentlemen. This is there already, where some of you may not notice it. So this is generative AI, artificial intelligence. How many of you use the ChatGPT? How many of you have used the ChatGPT? Very few. I think all of you should start using that. There is nothing bad about it, because it will tell you some of the mundane questions what you have in your mind will be answered by ChatGPT very well. should not hesitate to use that. Use it for a right purpose. Generative AI, which is one of these ChatGPTs, can already answer questions, write poetries, generate computer codes. So if a teacher asks you to write a code, you can do that in a fraction of seconds and carry on conversations in different languages. Is mind-boggling, actually. I will tell you my own experience to you, how this ChatGPT has changed the way we work and how it will change the future of work. You heard the introductory remarks where I joined AICTE in December of 2022. Sometime in March, November only it came. ChatGPT came out in November, September, October, November. So sometime in January, February, I was just sitting and looking at this ChatGPT, and I thought, what should I ask a question? So I asked a question, write a poem about All India Council for Technical Education. Believe me, you see, if I had hired a poet, he would have taken 6 months to 8 months to understand what AICTE does. And then writing a poem, I don't know how well you will write. But ChatGPT wrote so beautifully. But I was not very happy because it threw out about 3 pages of the poem. And I said, restrict yourself to 4 stanzas of 4 lines each. 10 seconds. The beautiful part of AICTE's poem has come out. Then I said, translate it to Hindi. In another 10 seconds, you can experiment this yourself. Okay, go on, join today, log in. ChatGPT 3.5 is free, OpenAI. Okay, there are thousands of such tools today. Okay. So what I was trying to say is a ChatGPT can take a position of a poet. We always thought that poets it comes in your genes. You have to be something special to become a poet. You see, normal person cannot become. That's what our assumption was. But today, ChatGPT has taken that place as well. It can replace a poet job. That means it can replace any job which has a memory information. If you are aligning analysis and memory, that's where your learning has to change. Don't try to memorize things. See, so far up to class 12, what you have done, you simply study 24 hours by heart, come back and write the answer paper. Okay. And you got 100 out of 100, majority of you. But this is what we call rote learning. This is no more good. This can be done by machines better than you and in a very lesser time, very effectively, without any confusion and clarity. With so much clarity, it can bring you the outputs. So you have to be original. Definitely human beings can think much better than machines. So you have to be out of the box. You have to take this opportunity when you are in this college to have an experiential learning. Do something hands-on is very, very important. So whatever you did up to class 12, forget about it. That's all actually what we call rote learning. You just memorize, come and answer the question paper, and you got 100 out of 100. You are the best, top in the world. But that doesn't tell you anything. Okay, this is an opportunity, ladies and gentlemen, for you to show your skills. So pick up skills. There are plenty of opportunities and tools available to you to learn something new. Feel hands-on. So I was just walking while coming. Professor Sharma took me to the innovations what their students have done. I think you have to get involved in such clubs. Spend some time. See, I don't know whether you have different clubs for the students in the year 2. Yeah. So you please get involved in that. Spend more time there. Build something through your hand. That's where you will be above the machines. Otherwise, you will not get any job, then don't curse. It's not the examination route you should go. Many experts believe artificial intelligence will make some workers, including doctors. You heard Professor Guleria just now, topmost doctor of the India from AIMS, former director. Okay. Lawyers, computer programmers, more productive than ever if they use these tools. So that means, see, they don't need to memorize everything now. They can ask these questions, have a created database of their own, ask these questions to these AI generatives, and that will improve their skill sets as well. But they need to upgrade them skills, digital skills. So very, very important, whichever field you are in, upgrade your digital skills, which will take you to the next level. Definitely, AI is also going to replace many workers. As I told you previously, it can take away the position of a poet, means it can take away many jobs. But you don't need to be scared of it. Because please understand, the end of the day, AIs are generated by human beings for the good of human beings. See, we can go back to the history itself. When people were only conversing, then written text came in. That was a revolution that time. Similar kind of feelings people at that time also felt. Similarly, you might have seen, at least some of the senior people might have seen in 80s, when computers came into banking, the entire country was on strike, thinking that these computers going to take away their jobs. But never happened. Anything, that kind of things never happened. Similarly, Y2K. Everybody euphoria was, oh, Y2K is going to change and do things that we survived. But now if you see, AI has not created such a flutter. Even though actually it is much bigger revolution than any of the things what you have seen earlier. But people have accustomed now, they're calm, they're not going to go and do a strike against AI. They think that is going to be useful to the human beings. Artificial intelligence have enabled the computers to identify intricate patterns that were previously difficult to detect, and also much better than human beings, which human beings cannot do that at a shorter time span. So in recent times, there has been a huge surge in the complexity of such machine learning models, aided by the advancement in deep learning. The growth of these models has been so remarkable that around 84% of the users who interact with AI remain unaware that they are engaging with an AI system. You may not be knowing, in your daily life that you are already using the AI generative tools. The highlights of this increasing sophistication of AI systems and their ability to seamlessly integrate into our daily lives is mind-boggling. Additionally, AI has not only enabled systems to learn from pre-existing examples and also to generate new examples. It is not just, it predicts from the existing data. It also forecasts the future. Okay? From scratch, further expanding their capabilities. So, ladies and gentlemen, AI is going to stay with us. Whichever area you are there, artificial intelligence is going to lead the next decade. AI has diverse applications across various sectors and industries, including the healthcare. I think Professor Guleria might have talked. There also lot of AI intervention. Today, many doctors doesn't do operation without the help of a technologist. Okay, if you go to an operation theater, there will be a lot of robots and engineers controlling those robots in the operation theater. This was not even thought about 15, 20 years back. Okay. Finance. This AI is entered into finance, manufacturing, transportation, retail, education, agriculture, energy and utilities, even in the governance. e-governance has come effectively. And media and entertainment. Some of you might have seen the movies are now made completely AI generative. No human beings. And if you did not know, 70% of back-end work of these kind of movies are done in India. Okay. It is all, AR, VR simulations. Sports, judiciary, real estate, construction. So it is not left any area. Hospitality and tourism also, AI is penetrated. So this is going to change the way we do our activities in our daily life. Rapid automation and emergence of new AI-based tools and technologies have had a significant cross-sectoral impact on skilling. Friends, another important thing you need to remember today, it is not just the education, what courses you learned and what marks you got is immaterial actually. You will realize soon, it is what skills you have. You may not have 100 out of 100 marks, you may be not a distinction student, but if you have excellent skills, you can land up in very high paying jobs. So jobs will come to you only if you are skilled. Skilling is part and parcel of your education today. The ministry also is thinking about introducing skilling level courses. And if you want to know some of these, myself when I am in college, how do I get trained on different skills? Identify your area, what you would like to become, what you want to become now itself. See, there is a neat portal in AICTE, National Education Alliance for Technology. There are thousands of courses, okay, which you can learn, self-learn yourself. Register there. You will get a certificate also because this is run by big companies. Google, all are there, AWS, Azure, everybody. So identify them, what interests you, how it matches with your program, what you have taken, and learn and do things. But you have to develop some skills. Tell, when you go for an interview for a placement, what skills you are ready. Why they should hire you. Okay. So simply saying, I got this marks, I did this project. ChatGPT will do your projects very quickly, much faster than, much better than you. I don't know whether you have tried it. You should try. Okay. Don't hesitate to try, but don't submit that same thing to the teacher. He will catch you because there are tools to catch you also. So academic integrity, one area, these AI tools has really created difficulty for academicians. Because who is doing the right thing, ethically submitting the assignments, projects? So we need to change the teachers as well. This is for the administration. Okay. But today we are actually in orientation. I will leave that part. There is a lot of things we have to do, changing the way our teachers are educated. I will tell you, our teachers have a less, acquaintance with the technology when compared to our youngsters. They are very smart and they are born with silver spoon like that, they're born with the mobiles in their hand. So they are very comfortable, but majority of the older generation are not. So the teachers training is very critical in this AI era. So we have taken a lot of steps, which I will not elaborate here in this for this audience, but AICTE's teachers training program is very intensive. We have trained lakhs and lakhs of teachers, both physically, online, and also newer initiative we have taken. Please kindly take a look at AICTE's websites. They're all new, developed within the AICTE. This is not a collated information. Okay. And there is an internship portal for all the students. So skilling where is important for us. So we want you to take an internship, online, physical, with an industry, understand the industry needs and skills, and get trained when you are in the college itself. Develop that skilling, yourself ready with skills. As AI is becoming increasingly integrated into many industries, various industries, including civil engineering. Okay. there is a growing demand for workers with AI-related skills. This has led to the need for upskilling and reskilling programs to help workers adapt to the changing skill requirements in AI. Additionally, the development of AI-enabled education platforms and the integration of AI into formal training programs are becoming very essential to prepare professionals for the jobs of the future. Ladies and gentlemen, you please also watch. The future of work will be completely different. In every day, innovation will rule the future of work. Whichever sector you're in, innovation is going to rule. Everything, I hope all of you know the difference between science, discovery, okay, and innovation. There is a clear difference. Any process you change, for a betterment, both where economical values are also involved. So you can create a lot of changes. Simple examples of innovations is, see, Uber or Ola doesn't even want one car. With simply a software band, he is able to call taxis anywhere you want, and thousands of people are using that. So this is a very innovation. Okay, such innovations are going to rule your life. So you need to skill yourself. That skilling is very important part. You need to develop some, clear idea about what you would like to work in the future. Develop those skills. So to leverage such a focused skilling ecosystem, particularly in AI, various strategies are to be implemented, which includes enhancement of AI-based skilling curriculum, encouraging AI-focused entrepreneurship development and innovation for startups. And also many of the industries are also aiming, because I heard that Dr. Guleria also talked about Industry 4.0. So I say it's not just Industry 4.0. Today with AI, we have already graduated to Industry 5.4. Ladies and gentlemen, also note that you might have seen in your phone, 2G started with when you are young. Today it is already gone to 5G. So tomorrow it may be 6G, and never know, 7G, 8G will come soon. So the things are changing so fast with advanced telecommunication technologies. So every month, what you learn becomes obsolete. So continuous learning is a very critical thing. Lifelong learning, what a National Education Policy 2020 emphasizes, has become a reality today. And thanks to COVID, many of us, the senior people who are sitting on the dais as well as in the front row, have graduated also ourselves using these technologies during pandemic. Otherwise, we were hesitating initially. Okay, but young people were very good. So we survived such a catastrophic COVID-19, the pandemic. And there are fantastic examples. I don't know whether Professor Guleria talked about CoWIN itself, one of the largest in the world. Similarly, today, our UPIs, if you did not know, 46% of the world transaction happen on UPI, and it is maximum in India. Okay. So many of the countries are interested. So many of my friends who come from America were mesmerized. You guys don't use any rupee, no wallet now. Okay, it's all one phone. Everything is on the phone, right? And particularly now in Delhi airport and many such airports, with Digi Yatra, you can simply walk in. I don't know how many have felt it. So this is not there in America. This is not there in Europe, not even China, not even Japan. So the things are in a very positive direction. AI has taken. So we need to do a lot of work, actually, let me tell you. So we have to, keeping these aspects in view, the working group at the AICTE and also the Ministry of Education has developed a document how AI should be integrated into education. It's going to be released soon, which we'll share with all the administrators so that they can see how best we can modify the curriculum and impart AI skills to our younger generation. Please note that I don't know how many of you know about All India Council for Technical Education. All India Council for Technical Education, you're all in technical education, majority of you at least, because I heard that you also have humanities, social sciences as well. Yeah. and basic science as well. All India Council for Technical Education started as an advisory body to Government of India during British time in 1945. It remained as an advisory body till 1987. And in 1987, when large number of engineering institutions started in the country, okay, somebody went to Supreme Court and then they gave the All India Council for Technical Education a statutory position to control the quality of technical education in the nation and also advise the Government of India. So the first 5 chairmen of All India Council for Technical Education were the Cabinet Minister of Government of India, Ministry of HRD, then today Minister of Education. The first full-time chairman of AICTE was Professor Khanna from University of Roorkee, then today IIT Roorkee. So the goal of the AICTE is to impart quality technical education and bring in changes as and when we see such disruptions. But unfortunately, these disruptions are too fast and too many. Okay. Now, so we need to work collectively. It cannot be done by one institution. All universities, professors, teachers, administrators, including students, to be part of that. Anyway, that's when we also got our new education policy, ladies and gentlemen. National education policy emphasizes more on self-learning. They also equated vocational education, whether you get your education by vocational means or distance education or regular like college going now, all degrees are on par. Because your learning outcome is most important than how you did it, what tools you used, whether you attended a college in the evening after your work or early morning, doesn't matter. What did you learn end of that course? What is your outcome? So many such new ideas. So we have to modify the curriculum. And that's where, AICTE has taken a big step in modifying curriculum. I would urge to see the model curriculum developed and continuously being upgraded every year at AICTE. We have taken a resolution that we need to keep on modifying. So the framework also is very important. How do we teach our students in what way we are going to? We need to develop what we call collaborative and competitive ecosystem for learning. So end of the day, learning is the, what did you learn at the end of the day? So AICTE new textbooks written by IIT professors, please use them rather than using very old textbooks which have been referred by your teachers. These textbooks are both for diploma in engineering we are developing through professors of IITs and NITs. They are not run-of-the-mill textbooks. They are based on outcome-based education. Every topic has unit objectives and what is the learning outcome at the end of that. Every chapter has that with QR code embedded with high-end materials available to you directly. These books are all free for you. These are all e-resources available on AICTE's e-cum portal. This is available to you. Please use them appropriately for your courses. They are all in 6 disciplines in engineering and 6 disciplines in diploma. They're all available. We are also now going into other areas. So we need to look at how this AI is transforming the entire ecosystem, not just the education and every field. So in conclusion, I would like to tell you that we need to train our students more towards innovation, creating new ideas and their own startups, and then become an entrepreneur. So we have to make our students become an entrepreneur so that they are not going to be the job takers or job seekers. They will be the job givers or job providers. Unless we do that, we have a large population, 1.4 billion. We're the number 1 in the world now in terms of population. And 500 million and odd young people like you are studying or aspire to study many courses, any education. We have close to about 10,000 universities, 45,000 colleges. Okay, so it's a mind-boggling number. At AICTE itself, we are running more close to about 10,000 colleges controlling. Okay, recently we are not looking at architecture, we are not approving the courses on pharmacy, they're all left out now. Friends, things are changing very fast, and these are all actually benefit to us. Digitization, particularly digitalization, digital technologies are sweeping across the world, soaking into every group of our society and also the work. Whichever work you take, you might have seen, you go to buy a sabji, the fellow will accept your today in India is only possible in India. In a car, road street, he will tell you, you can pay by GPay or Paytm or Phone Pay, so popular today. He doesn't know even how to sign. Please remember that. But he knows how to use the technology to accept money. Okay, that's the order of the day today. So you have to come up with new ideas, looking at such problems, simple problems. You can make a revolution, create your own startup. And today we have how many unicorns from India? More than 120. What is an unicorn? You see, such companies are there today. And who are all those? They are not all IIT graduates. Let me tell you honestly. I want to give you that also. They are not all IIT graduates. They are all AICTE college graduates. Give a big applause to AICTE college. Why I say that? I was a director of IIT. I'll tell you, IITs, there are 23 of them today in the country, only graduate 15,700 engineering graduates. How many? 15,700. How many graduates come out of AICTE institutions? 1 million every year. And that's going to increase. We're going to cross the number of China, which produces 1.2 million. We are actually already number 2 in the world. We have crossed in the undergraduate education, America long back. Okay. So our engineers will be the global engineers. If you adopt yourself to the newer technologies, okay, if you are a tech savvy, technically qualified, you will be sought after. That's what is happening today. Professor was telling me, sir, there are no civil engineers. How are we going to build new bridges, new dams, which is required for people? I said, sir, please, we need to understand something very clearly here. What is that? Students take a program which get them a good job, high-paying job. It's the nation's priority to create such high-paying job in engineering, core engineering as well. We have taken many steps at AICTE to, I'm not saying that we will close down. We will never close down the core engineering, core G. Without them, I agree completely with Professor Sharma ji, that with core engineering, we can't be a developed nation. India is yet to be built. If you look at the consumption of cement and steel, that is an indicator for what we are building India. We are actually 5th or 6th in the world. We are not in the top. Even today, China is building still, even though they have grown very well. So, friends, digital skilling is very, very key to skill yourself, reskill yourself, upskill, continuously skilling. So you have to, every day you need to learn something new. And that should become your habit during your education. Learn something new instead of simply surfing something which is useless, or writing some comments on some social media is useless again. So do something useful for your own future. Okay, you can make changes. Another, when I said our young people are spending more than 6 hours on their mobile phones, which is also not very good. If you spend the 6 hours on useful things, to learning, it's fantastic. But on a junk, simply commenting on somebody else's, you're not going to change anyway, because it's a fraction of a minute, like newspapers, we read, when you read while having a cup of coffee, and then after that, you don't even open that newspaper again. So that's the way it is. So you need to skill yourself, Honorable Prime Minister actually keeps on telling you that we need to reduce this wastage of 6 hours of screen time for a useful purpose. So digital literacy is very key and very important. And even, we are in a right time, right place, and there are a lot of initiatives. So I would like to just talk about last few lines on the technical education, because I represent as chairman of AICTE. India's position in technical education is marked by its extensive infrastructure. We have 3,500 plus engineering colleges, 3,500 plus diploma colleges, 200 design and architecture schools. I'll not go into the other ones, like there is a hotel management, the MBA, all is actually approved by AICTE. So we can generate skilled workforce for the whole world. Such capacity we have. And numbers are already there. Institutions are already there. Okay, we need to develop now quality programs, generate quality engineers to the world. So India as a country has a very skilled workforce now, unlike 10 years back. Or regionally now engineering and technology graduates have been rated as 57% are employable. Okay, better than that is actually commerce graduates. 60% are employable. This is a new survey which is done by skill sectors. Okay. There are a lot of technological advancement. So our country can boast of today, can send, we are all waiting to hear from ISRO when the rover is going to land on the moon. Okay. Another maybe 15 days, 23rd, I think. Okay. All of you should watch. I was there at Indian Institute of Science, listening to Somanath, mind-boggling, what kind of technologies they have created. Entire thing is indigenous. Atmanirbharata. Every component developed within India. So this is possible in space program. Why not in engineering and technology? So this is the time. This is the golden time, ladies and gentlemen. And who has to change that? Not us, you. You young folks have to do that. And the country continue to strive towards excellence by addressing challenges and promoting further growth in innovation in the field. In the innovation ranking, you might have seen from 2015 to now, 2015, we were somewhere in 82 or 86 in the innovation ranking, global innovation index. Today, in 2023, we are number 40. Okay, number of patents, number of papers written. We are already either in the top 5, 3, 4, 5. But we have capability, capacity to become number 1 in all of these. It is in your hands. But I know the kami, what is the less part of it is our expenditure, R&D expenditure for GDP ratio is 0.7% amongst the whole country. That means that is why I said our Mangalyaan has become a very cheapest one. When compared to any of the, even a big cars, cost also will be maybe much more than that. But, so ours is the cheapest technology, which is the greatest advantage for the whole world. But you have to also watch out the new program, Government of India's initiative, whether it's Startup India, Stand Up India, Digital India, Swachh Bharat, they're all excellent initiatives to take the numbers to a larger scale. So I think, with all these ecosystem, today India is a leading destination for startups. And as I told you, Indian Institute of Technologies are today institutes of Indian technologies. They are a brand, but their number is not enough. But my own experience, I will tell you, these IITs which started in 60s, there were 5 IITs for young people, I'm telling you. In 1960s, they have started 5 IITs. That was IIT Madras, IIT Kanpur, IIT Delhi, IIT Kharagpur, IIT Bombay. The 6th one came in Guwahati, 1994. So there is a long gap of 40 years there. And then it was again a lull. 2000, IIT Roorkee became the 7th one, and then BHU became the 8th one. Then again, it was a lull up to 2007, and then 2015, So today we have 23 IITs. Okay. These are all, anywhere in the world you go, IITs are a brand. And we have already taken 2 of these IITs. I was in that committee. One to Zanzibar. IIT Madras is setting up a new campus in Zanzibar. IIT Delhi is setting up a new campus in Abu Dhabi. Already starting in October, there will be a program in data science and artificial intelligence program. First BTech students are joining there. International capability. Similarly, large number of international universities are coming to India as well. 2 of them already come into Gift City from Australia, Deakin and Wollongong. Many such changes are happening in higher education sector. Ladies and gentlemen, AICTE, through as a chairman, I've traveled to many of these young universities, colleges, where innovation and startups are becoming part and parcel of the college curriculum. I'm very happy to see a lot of changes. So I think this innovation spur the newer ideas, will bring in newer ideas, newer products, technology transfers, automatically the money. So the knowledge is going to rule the whole world. The entire economy will be based on knowledge. So skilling are very critical. And I have told you some of the areas which you have to watch out is not only AI, semiconductor, advanced telecommunications are going to pervasively enter into every area. Whether it is any discipline, even including humanities. Okay. So watch out that, get yourself upgraded, train. As I told you, don't only look for, I say 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 syndrome. What is that? 5-figure salary at the end of your course. You should not only look for this. This is not going to take you anywhere. See, but you will be talking to your friends always this only. Okay. 5-figure, that is 5-figure, that means 5-figure salary, lakh, I want 1 lakh, 2 lakh, 10 lakhs package. Okay. 4-wheel drive, and I need to have this car, that car, you know. And also house, 3-bedroom house, you know, and 2 children after getting married, and a spouse. That's not your end life, ladies and gentlemen. You have to also give out to the society. Something you should do. That's why we have brought, AICTE has brought universal human values as part of the curriculum. We are going to actually made as a part of the curriculum to teach them, you know, what is important in life, not just this. So I urge you to take some of these courses also, which we have made it now minor degree also we can obtain, anybody. Okay. So we can register anywhere. Universal Human Values is one such course. So follow your passion, embrace change, be present, value authentic connections, embrace imperfections, prioritize self-cases, practice gratitude. With these words, thank you very much. Thank you for your kind attention. Namaskar. Jai Hind.
Thank you so much, sir, for your highly inspiring words. These will go a long way in inspiring our freshers to march with courage and conviction, utilize science and technology for a good cause, and empower our nation with the capabilities of the kind that are in the making. I know, young freshers, you must be restless to ask a few questions from no one less than high and mighty, the chairman of AICTE. Sir, if you permit, can we pick up 1 or 2 questions from the audience, especially from the young freshers? If you have any anxiety, any idea to thresh out with the Honorable Chairman of AICTE, Dr. Sitharam, please over there. Reach out the microphone to the young man over there, please. Our Honorable Founder President, Dr. Ashok Chauhan, is also connected online, and he was listening to every single word of Dr. Sitharam, and I'm sure he must be excited enough to share his words of wisdom and give his blessings to you, as also to express his profound gratitude to Honorable Chairman AICTE on this day. So anything quick, yes, please.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
Hello? And switch on that.
Good afternoon, sir. My name is Aditya. I'm from BTech CSC. Sir, I have a question. Like you talked about AI and ML. Sir, 10 or 20 years before, we thought that AI will take over the job of workers and labor, but actually the opposite of it is happening. It is taking the job of literature arts and engineers, poets. So what's your take on that, sir?
Can you answer? What's your take on this?
I did answer that question to you already. He said, it will take, that's why I said you need to adopt yourself, whoever it is. Doctors have to adopt themselves for new technologies, lawyers also, but it will help. If you take that positively, it is not taking away your jobs, but you need to upskill yourself, use that for your advantage. See, please remember, AI tools is developed by human beings for the benefit of mankind. How it can really say it will take away? You have created for benefit of us only. What human beings cannot do. Such large memory. All this done by human beings. Actually, we should not do that actually. We should, that's why I said you should have your skills. So you remember, in your childhood, you used to remember the math multiplication tables. 2 1s are 2, 2 2s are. When this calculator came in, everybody was scared. Calculator is going to take away my job. Right? See, today, many of your younger people will not know. You ask Professor Sharma, he used to up to 20 stanzas, 20 into 1, 20 into 2. He used to go on, that is his job when he was a child. Because at home, we should walk from there to there, just telling the tables, maths table, okay? Today, that is not an important, so you have adopted. So this adoption will come even with AI, don't worry. People will get used to it and they will start making the positive things from there and improve their, deliverables using the AI.
Sir has given you many valuable tips. He asked you to understand the purpose for which you are here. Sir has asked you to link to the industry requirement of skills and knowledge that is required for tomorrow. Sir has alerted you about the future of work. He has also said that AI would come great handy to you to empower you with the layers of empowerment required to march with courage and confidence tomorrow in the world of work, as well as in the world of society, the world of nation, and it will also give you great capability. Well, I'm sure you may have a few other questions to understand how engineering and technology education is going to create a happy, healthy, empowered, and prosperous India over there. Take the microphone quickly, yeah.
Sir, okay. Sir, what would you
Keep
say?
it close to your lips like the Lata Mangeshwar ji used to do.
Okay. Sir, what would you say is the one biggest factor that differentiates AI with humans? Like personally, AI could never describe what it feels like to ride a Royal Enfield.
I agree with you very clearly. There's no question about it. Human beings are, AI cannot do everything. It is based on the data, it's as good as your data. AI's prediction will be as good as your data. If data is excellent, it can predict, it can forecast also. But it cannot take away human beings. There is no kind of replacement. Human mind is superior. We need to learn that we need to also accept that we can do much better. So we need to do things which machines can do very easily. You should leave that job to machines and select something which you can do yourself.
Don't give everything to technology. Keep yourself in the center of the game and create new technologies by which you could bring ethics and professional morality embedded into the technology tools and devices and systems. Of course, technology will give you great courage and confidence to walk tomorrow. But don't become a slave of technology. Use your mind, which you have in plenty. Over there, yeah, once again, yeah.
Good afternoon, sir. Sir, my question is that you actually talked about the employment rate of BCom graduates and the engineering graduates. You told that the engineering graduates are currently less employable than the BCom graduates. as I feel that I am currently a biotechnology student and there are other core branches like civil, mechanical, etc. So most of them are from these branches. So particularly being a biotechnology student, I have interest in research and this kind of things. But after the IT boom, basically like in Bangalore and basically in Noida, we see that except we leave the IITs, the companies which come to these kind of institutions are basically IT companies, and what are they looking for? They're only looking for CS graduates and only for AI graduates. Then where can we just go to express ourselves? Because as we know that India is basically having so many jobs for these. So what is your take on this, sir?
Yeah, this is a serious problem. I told you already. See, that's why I told you as a director of IIT, I've seen even civil, mechanical, biotechnology people also go to fintech and IT because it's a high paying job. See, the same job, if it is available even in the other area, they're not going. You cannot force them. You see, please understand, some of them join IITs only to get a placement, excellent placement. Similarly here also. So we need to think differently. As Professor was highlighting, we should emphasize. So we have taken some steps. Maybe there is no time today to explain to you what steps we have taken to keep core engineering still
Yes.
popular.
Yes.
We have taken a lot of steps. Like, for example, I'm going to create a AICTE placement portal for core engineering student. We already have 2,000 companies have come forward and joined to help us in creating the job for core engineers. Okay, this is, we will connect them to rural and tribal engineering colleges first, because we need to keep those colleges alive first. So we are already taking steps. Similarly, we are making a minor degree also available to these core engineers in emerging areas. So they will join whatever the job want, they will come back to the core engineering. Right now, what is happening is without any training, they're joining the IT related and fintech jobs, and they will be nowhere. Let me tell you, within a 1 year, all other students who are very good in programming, coding, they will surpass you, even though you are a topper in your field, in biotechnology. Okay, you cannot survive in that industry unless you upskill yourself. So we are thinking of also skilling them while they're in college. So there are such many initiatives. I don't think I have time today to explain, because I need to
I think
leave.
you have given a window. I think in the times to come, all engineering would be as important as your AI or IT, or for that reason, computer science and engineering. And the nation is quite aware about the challenges that we have to ensure that the core is served with as much as pride and conviction as you are serving the cause of computer science, IT, AI, ML, and other activities. Ladies and gentlemen, our founder president, sir, has joined, and I take great pleasure in inviting our honorable founder president, Dr. Ashok Chauhan, sir, to address the audience, and also to greet our honorable chairman of AICTE, Dr. Sitharam, sir. Honorable Founder President, for you, MIT is not just a mission, but a passion to pursue the quality of education, cutting-edge research, cause path-breaking technology innovations, and to empower nations with the science and technology power and human resources of the kind that is required to build India of our dream. We look towards you for your words of wisdom at a time when the freshers are in front of me. My faculty and heads of the institutions, also some of them are present here. So over to you, Honorable Founder President.
Dr. P.V. Sharma, you have rightly mentioned above mission the passion. Passion is contagious. If you have a passion, then you also motivate and inspire other students, colleagues. I was in an important meeting. From 2-3 sides, I got the message that Dr. T.G. Sitharamanji is speaking. So I have to leave the meeting. I told my dear gentlemen, ladies, you discuss further, I'll come back. So I rushed to listen to the speech, and I'm very fortunate. I'm very fortunate that I listened each word carefully. This was a really marvelous expression of different ideas. Definitely, Sitharamanji has been a very successful professor. The way he was connecting with the students, the way he was giving the tips to the students from A to Z. I think not very many people, they may be chairman, but this background of T.G. Sitharamanji tells me that how much he has been nurturing students for many, many years. with IIT Guwahati. I don't know if Piba Sharma, you people know, we have a very valuable MOU with IIT Guwahati. And before Sitharam joined the AIC chairman, he was there. And there also I heard about him. So my dear students, many times I'm asked, Honorable President, what you like most? I told I like most to be with my students. So I am with you people. And I am very proud that with which patience you were listening everything. And I think what Sitharamanji told, you can incorporate it in your mind, body, and soul. Every sentence need to be incorporated and practiced in your life. And I'm thankful to Sitharamanji that you spared your time. I know how busy is AICT chairman. You mentioned about Khannaji. That time, I myself used to go to the AICT building in that Indira Stadium, but nowadays I'm not able to go. But I know how difficult is your time. When I was sitting, people were coming every minute. Ye emergency hai, ye idea, ye meeting hai. So I will be waiting you sometime, and I'm proud to listen you. And I will forward this recording to all my students of other universities, faculty members. Vikas Madhugar, please enable this to my people that this speech should go to all universities. Here, not only 12 universities in India, and Asimji has gone, PV Sharmaji, to Bangalore, because the final permission for running the MIT University Bangalore will be starting today. The audit team has come, and they are already very convinced. And the next is coming in Hyderabad, because Sitharamanji, I saw that a lot of scientists are working there, and after retirement would be settling there. So already many those who are working told, Dr. Chauhan, we will like to join Bangalore or Hyderabad. This was, that is, as Sitharam told, target-oriented working, thinking. So I thought these scientists I can only catch if I make my university before their house. So this is the result what Sitharam already told. So my dear student, please listen again one or two times this lecture and try to imbibe in you these thoughts. I think that will change your career. He told how many 1 lakh or more engineering college from AICT and 15 lakh or something only with IITs. So I think many things I didn't know, but I'm astonished. And we are very proud. When I had not known much, then I heard him today. I think this is an asset for the nation, Dr. P.B. Sharma, that we have such a AICT director, because that decides the fate of all engineering students, management, and all these programs for AICT. So I think under his great leadership, our AICT will serve a lot of useful visionary thoughts. Sitharamji, once again, my great thanks to you. Dr. P.V. Sharma, Atul Chauhan ji is at the moment in USA. So I rang him just now, although it's 10 and a half hours before us. So I told Sitharam is speaking here, and as he is the president of the whole foundation, and he's also the member of the governing council of AUUP. So I asked him that I want to request just now on the mic that Sitharam accepts our honorary doctorate. So he told Honorable President, what you suggest always is very wise, thoughtful. Therefore, I agree, because for Noida, as the governing council, but as a president of the whole foundation, also 18 campuses. And I think P.V. Sharma one day will invite Sitharam to my global research hub in New York. Sir, 175 acres we have taken there, because my idea is to assemble all worldwide scientists and technocrats there. Many times for them, it is easy to be there, because my slogan is best of the West and best of the East. So I think we will need your help, guidance, and directions to achieve it. Again, my dear student, I'm so proud to see with which interest you are listening. And Sitharam rightly told that you have taken the choice of MIT University. This shows your wisdom, your intelligence, and your desire to make best career. And please tell to your parents that also the AICT chairman congratulated us that we have selected this university And all this, my faculty member, researchers sitting over here, many of you I recognized. So I think, Sitharamji, in how much small details I go. Don't mind that the front row, many seats were free. I told them that doesn't look in the photo, it will go in many papers and all. So Vikas Madhukar and Jan Pal immediately occupied it. So, sir, I keep so eye on every smallest thing in my all universities. So I would say, great, I'm so fortunate, and I'm grateful to the home who involved me, and we'll again meet you and invite you. And Vikas Madhukar sent me a recording is there, while I'll take it and I'll telecast it to all my universities, and I will sit there, because so that if they have questions, then we can also take Sitharamji online. He can reply the question from his office table. Thank you, sir. V.V. Sharmaji, my congratulations. Vikas Madhukar and all faculty members, scientists. I am proud on the scientific acumen and achievements, V.V. Sharmaji, of your campus. When I came in 1994 from Germany after 28 years of stay, employing 6,000 Germans, I met some great people. So I went to P.V. Sharma, and then he explained me some his innovative ideas. So I was very fortunate, because he's a through and through a scientist and technocrat. And what Sitaramji told today, then okay. So I would say thank you very much, sir. We are so proud, so thankful, and we'll meet you sometime. My hearty respects to you, my love and affection to children and the students, and my respect to my faculty member researchers. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. We are truly grateful to you for the time you have kindly spared and shared your valuable thoughts with us, and joined us in greeting country's Honorable Chairman of AICTE, Dr. Sitharamji, on this day. This was a great day for Amity University, Haryana, sir. We received Dr. Guleria also in the morning, the former director of AIIMS, and the enlightening speech of Dr. Sitharam, I'm sure, will give us courage and conviction to make a much bigger value and meaning of engineering and technology education research that we pursue here. We thank you from core of our heart for sparing your highly valuable time. We know how busy a person like you is. And today is also a great day that our Amity University, Bangalore, is coming up today. So we are so proud of being part and parcel of Amity University family. And we thank you so much for your valuable time, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, I know how precious the time of Dr. Sitharam, sir, is. He needs to rush now to something much bigger, much better, which in his own office. But sir, on this occasion, may I take this opportunity to thank you on my personal behalf, on behalf of the Honorable Founder President, sir, on behalf of my Chancellor, and the entire Amity University Haryana family for sparing your highly valuable time with us at the auspicious occasion of Sitharam 2023. Let you bless the young graduates, let them grow taller in their own choice of profession and serve Mother India with fullest of courage, conviction, commitment, and capabilities of the kind they will nurture here in our university during their course of study. Thank you so much, sir, once again. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, may I invite my HOIs quickly to come on the stage to have a group photograph with the Honorable Chairman before we run away.
Request all the students to be kindly seated.
You all have to move a little faster than the Vice Chancellor. Okay. Pushpu can join, yeah. After disciple of Dr. Sitharam. I think you are the thank you. Who's taking the photo?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone. We have a very important talk after this. We request all the students to please kindly be seated. We'll begin soon in a minute or two. May I kindly request our Pro Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. Vikas Madhukar, to extend a warm welcome to our next eminent guest speaker, Dr. Deepan Sahu, Assistant Innovation Director, Ministry of Education.
Very good afternoon to all, my dear head of the institution, faculty member, students. See, the first half of today, I know power packed, and I must say that you all are really blessed because of many things. The kind of session what we had and the kind of experts, the kind of words of wisdom you had today in only in 4 to 5 hours is something which is difficult to acquire even in next 1 year. And most importantly, out of all that, you all have had an opportunity to listen to the blessings of our founder president. So coming back to the previous session of Professor Dr. T.G. Sitharam, he had talked about all important things which we had incorporated in your orientation program. And this is what I was telling him, that sir, the detailed discussions session, what we had for the student in our 4 days orientation program, you had covered, summarized everything in a very beautifully manner. And if you could recall, right, your orientation started with a powerful panel discussion on future of job, campus to corporate, key to success in college and beyond, where you had an opportunity to listen to the various industry experts sharing their view that how the environment is going to change and what kind of future it is lying in the job market in next 5 to 7 years down the line, and what could be the possible strategies for the young graduate they can adopt to prepare themselves to face the challenges of future. And followed by that particular session, we had a session of Mr. Jagota, who talked about again the similar thing. Today we've talked about many things, and in next 1 day, tomorrow also, we are going to have a very powerful panel discussion on 21st century skills and how to imbibe those 21st century skills, where you are going to listen to the experts from Skill Sector Council. And this, the last session of pre-lunch today is on entrepreneurship from ideation to innovation, is again very, very important and maybe a life changing for most of you. See, now, because when we're talking about education at AMITI, right, we are talking education at a very holistic perspective. We are talking a kind of education what we are providing to our students, and where we are not only preparing them for their dream job in industry, but also we are opening a plethora of opportunity for those they want to start their own business. They want to have something on their own. And my dear student, what I have observed in last 5 years, the trend has changed drastically. Now there are many, many students, those they are coming and they're very clear in their thought that what they want to be. And they say, sir, we are not looking forward for placement or any kind of job. We want to start something on our own. And this is happening while the student, they are in their graduation. Many of them are able to start their venture. and where the university entrepreneurship ecosystem is supporting them and playing an important role. So if particularly I talk about university entrepreneurship innovation system, we have entrepreneurship cell, which is supporting student. Tomorrow you're going to have a brief session on e-cell. We have institution innovation council supported by Ministry of Education, which is again involved in kind of creating an environment and culture of entrepreneurship by involving students in various activities. We have courses on entrepreneurship. We are offering minor degree in entrepreneurship, which is open for all undergraduate students. So in spite of that, my one student in engineering or my other student is in psychology or English or history, the entrepreneurship courses are open for all, where every semester student is studying one courses, and from basic entrepreneurship introduction, we are taking student to a startup. So that program has been matched by with the very ambitious mission of Government of India, Ministry of Skill Development, which was started, I think, 5 years back when Prime Minister Yuva Yojana was started and the university was empaneled. And then we started imparting the entrepreneurship education. And I'm proud to say that today we are truly delighted to have Mr. Dipan Sahu with us. Mr. Dipan Sahu is Assistant Innovation Director with Ministry of Education Innovation Cell. You can, be clearly seen on the slide where he is working, but this is a very, very important position where he is working. And while I was going through his profile, I would like to read 2-3 lines that first day we talked about that at Amity, we are very conscious that each of our students know what is the mission and purpose of your life. And I'm quite happy to read the mission purpose of life, which Mr. Sahu had written. My aim is to make India youths unleash their creative potential by preparing them to solve problems and capitalizing on entrepreneurial opportunity. My mission is to inspire 10 million youths from 20,000 plus higher education institutions across India to choose innovation and entrepreneurship as an alternate career choice by 2030 and put India in the top 15 position in Global Innovation Index. So you have heard that in 2015, India was at 81 in Global Innovation Index. And last 8 years, there was a jump of 40 position. And now we are at 41. How it has happened? It has happened only because of the kind of entrepreneurship innovation ecosystem has been created by the government. And when the startup policy came in 2015, it was clearly mentioned that one of the important stakeholders to create this ecosystem and bringing India up on innovation index is the youth of India. And there they have mandated the role of higher education institution in building this ecosystem in the each and every university. Because, our higher education system is huge. Our previous speaker, he's talked about the number of engineering colleges and the number of graduates they are passing out from the engineering colleges. But this is small set of engineering discipline. Now think about how much discipline we have. If I talk about the higher education system of India, we have close to 1,100 universities. We have roughly 45,000 affiliated colleges in the country. And we have more than 11,000 standalone institutions in which roughly 45 million students are studying up. And you just imagine when we have 4.5 crore students studying in the higher education system, and if with the kind of effort the government is making, the higher education institution is making, if we are able to divert only 10% of the population of whole higher education system, we would be able to create lakhs of entrepreneurs every year. And this is how It is going to change the future of country, and definitely it is going to make the Atmanirbhar Bharat a reality, a startup India reality. So we welcome Mr. Deepan Sahu, who is looking after the Ministry of Education Innovation Cell. His job is to ensure that each and every university, institution, colleges in India should have a very high active Institute Innovation Council involving in creating a culture of entrepreneurship so that more and more startup can be promoted. So here also at this university, we are guided by Mr. Deepan Sahu in making our IIC very effective. And because of the kind of guidance we have received from the Ministry of Education, the kind of effort with the Institution Innovation Council team has done at the university, we have been rated as a 4-star institution council. So there is a rating given. So the 4-star is the highest, second highest rating. And I'm sure that the kind of effort which we are building under the direction of our Honorable Founder President and Honorable Chancellor, we are going to make it 4.5 or 5. Thank you. With this few words, I would like to welcome again on behalf of our Honorable Chancellor, Honorable Founder President, on behalf of entire Amity fraternity, we extend a very warm welcome to you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your warm welcoming remarks. May I request our Honorable Pro Vice Chancellor, sir, to felicitate Dr. Deepan Sahu with a token of gratitude, please. Thank you so much, sir. Let me take the privilege in introducing Dr. Deepan Sahu, who will be delivering an expert talk on entrepreneurship, ideation to innovation. Dr. Deepan Sahu has his bachelor degree in fisheries from Sri Venkateshwaraya Veterinary University, Tirupati, Andhra Pradesh, and MBA and PhD in rural management from KIT School of Rural Management, Bhubaneswar. He has immensely contributed in building the innovation movement in higher education institutes in India through MIC, which has resulted in uplifting India's position in Global Innovation Index from 81st in 2015 to 40th in 2022. He is an enthusiastic policy entrepreneur and practitioner, having more than 13+ years of experience in the domain of innovation and entrepreneurship, actively contributing to the growth of the Indian startup ecosystem. His work engages a diverse variety of more than 4,000+ ecosystem enablers in building a vibrant innovation and startup culture development in HEIs and schools. He has successfully established a scalable and sustainable model of the institution's Innovation Council network to foster I&E culture in more than 7,000 HEIs, which directly influences the career choice of 4 million students. He is leading the formulation and nationwide implementation of various national policy initiatives towards institutionalization and benchmarking innovation practices in HEIs, such as the National Innovation and Startup Policy, NIRF, Innovation Ranking, ISCs, Innovation Ambassador Training, Mentor-Mentee Program, Impact Lecture Series, IIC and linkage with Atal Tinkering Labs in schools, AICTE Innovation Repository, and AICTE Innovation Challenge programs to create, streamline, and strengthen innovations and entrepreneurship ecosystem in educational institutions. May I have the pleasure to invite Dr. Sahu for his expert talk on entrepreneurship, ideation to innovation. So.
Very good afternoon to all. First of all, I will thank Amity University, Gurugram, Chancellor, Honorable Chancellor, Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir, my friend, Dr. Vikas Madhukarji, who is leading IIC team here at Amity University, and the able faculty members, student IIC members, those are contributing towards the institution's effort, university effort to streamline and strengthening the innovation and startup ecosystem in this institute, and inspiring, motivating all these young minds to choose this as an alternative career option. I welcome you all and also extending a congratulations because you are entering into an institute where this culture is already established and you have to leverage it. And your seniors, your faculty members, your leaders, the leaders of these institutions are already have something developed in concrete to offer you that opportunity. Now it's up to you how you are going to acquire this knowledge and utilize this opportunity in a better way so that you will practice innovation, you will practice startup entrepreneurship, you will solve problems, and gradually, when you will leave this campus, you will go with a mindset of job creator rather than a job seeker. So I heard few questions in the morning, they're asking that where they will get a job. I think you will not ask this question at the end of your fourth year. You will say that I have a startup. How many of you are ready to come and join my company? So this kind of propositions you are going to put when you will reach in your fourth year. And because now your first year, you are going through the orientation program, this is the duty and the responsibility of the institute to tell you what are the plethora of opportunities, avenues are waiting for you to explore and exploit, right? So let's start with that, some basic questions. How many of you are actually freshers here? Because this is an orientation program, around 80 to 90%, right? Okay. I remember 15 years back, I was just going to the same phase of, as a fresher, I was attending in the orientation program in my university. I did my bachelor in fishery science from Veterinary University, Tirupati during 2003 and 2007. So I'm sure you must have gone through a phase of asking yourself, actually, what should be your career choice, right? You must have asked these things. And I'm very much sure majority of you must have asked a question to yourself to discover, to know your interests. And that question is, I think, the questions must be around like, what I want to become. This is the general question we ask ourselves. What I want to become. Then this is the general question we ask when we choose the career choice or when we want to know the career choice or interest. How many of you actually ask this question? What I want to become in my life? Have you asked this question to yourself? No, you have not asked this question? Yes, please raise your hand. How many of you asked this question? That means you have already started experimenting. You have started the path of discovering yourself. Those who have not asked, you landed here with a compulsion or just like accidentally. This is the another option. And I'm very much sure at least a fraction of the total population here must have asked another kind of question, which is different than what I want to become, or not asked anything. That question is called what I want to do in my life. Both are different. What I want to become is different than what I want to do. If you ask what I want to become, then you will get the answer like I want to become an engineer, doctor, IAS officer, something like that. So how many of you actually ask the question, what I want to do? Yes, 1, 2, 3, 4. still less. But I say this is a less, very, very fraction of the total population. But the answer is not to become an engineer, not to become a doctor. I'm very much sure, right? Your answer is something different. Can you tell me what is that answer? What the answer you got? If not the concrete? Yes. Just say loudly. Responsibility. So when you ask what I want to do in my life, it comes with the responsibility. And the responsibility is social responsibility, environmental responsibility, economic responsibility, even also your professional responsibility, and it links with the karma. Question is, you will not get the answer of I become a doctor and engineer. You want to solve a bigger problem or the challenge that you have seen during this time period of life. The answer will be, I want to solve environmental issues. I will solve this climate change. I will solve the education sector, some problems. I will solve something like that. You will get the answer. So if this is your target, there is immaterial to choose to become an engineer or doctor. Irrespective of the profession you choose or the qualification you choose, finally, you will always think to solve that problem. And these people will never get disappointed in their life. They will never get disheartened in their life, even if they will face any failure. Even if they will not become an engineer, they will pursue that life, they will pursue that mission by becoming a pharmacist or by becoming another discipline. Majority of the people, when they fail in their venture or fail in their life venture, they got disappointed, further leads to the depression because they never fulfilled their dream to become a doctor or the engineer. But if your life mission will be something different, not become a doctor and engineer, to solve some bigger challenge, the problem, I think you will overcome from that depression. This is the first step should be for every individual to start with, to ask what you want to do in your life rather than what you want to become in your life. That is the first differentiation. If you have not asked, ask this question, because you have 4 years in your hand, and I'm very much sure you will get definitely a good answer, best answer, and that best answer becomes the better answer as you will start asking every day, every moment, every year, with your skill, with your exposure, with your experimentation. It will always become a larger and larger as you grow. Right? Okay, let's start with the presentation. How many of you are actually feeling proud to become an Indian? Good, good. How many of you are actually happy in your life, what you're doing now? Good. Number is, so you feel you are happy, right? Okay. You know this Amrit Kal and Amrit Mahotsav and Amrit Kal? Do you know the actual meaning of it? Actual meaning of it? Amrit Mahotsav is the 75 years of independence. What we have created, what the infrastructure, what the human capital, what the technical capability we have created, it is going to repay for next 25 to 30 years. So that next 25 years is called Amrit Kal or the Kal Khand. And what we have achieved, what we have created is called, to celebrate that, is called Amrit Mahotsav. I hope you are coming across these two words more frequently every day, Amrit Mahotsav and Amrit Kal. And this Amrit Kal is going to lead by the youth of our country, because they are the problem solvers, they are the innovators, they are going to be the game changers or the change makers in our country. They are going to the entrepreneurs. So a rewarding period is waiting for us. It is already started. The sooner we will realize this potential, the skill, the youth's ability, the technical capability of a country, we will gear off towards a developed country by 2047. And already we set a milestones to become a third top economy in this world in next 5 to 6 years. and we are targeting to become $5 trillion economy in next 2 to 3 years. So these are the milestones to become an advanced country by 2047. Let me tell you, this 21st century is for Asia, and especially for the country like China and India. If you remember, in 19th century, the Industrial Revolution started from Europe. That's why everybody says that 19th century belongs to Europe, but this 20th century was for USA, and this 21st century is for Asia, especially India and China. China has already started the journey 20 to 30 years back. We are starting now. And who is driving this? The science and technology clusters, innovations, entrepreneurship. These are the actually driving factors for this growth. And you can see that high concentration of the blue dots in different countries, that indicates there is a high concentration of science and technology activities. That's at the growth engine for this economic and societal development. And we are fortunate that you will find lots of blue clusters or the blue dots in our country. That means our educational institutions spread across the country. They are the epicenter of innovation and entrepreneurship. You know how many institutions we have? We have 65,000 higher educational institutions. Those are offering both technical and non-technical courses. 65,000. That includes arts and science colleges, commerce colleges. More than 4 crore students are graduating every year. Out of this, only 10,000 institutions are technical, producing around 12 to 15 lakhs of engineering graduates or the technical graduates. A phenomenon journey, progress in terms of economic, in terms of GDP per capita we are doing. We have crossed Britain, now become the 5th largest. Next 3 to 4 years, by 2030, definitely we will become a top third economy in the world. And GDP per capita, currently we have around $3.6 trillion. It will cross 5 trillion by 2026. And when it will cross $10 trillion, we will become the 3rd largest. The days are not so far. We are running fast, especially our youths, our institutions, our startups. They are making our economy more progressive and growing faster. So now India is emerging as a startup nation, and so far Israel is called as a startup country, and gradually India is going to take the place as a startup nation very soon, because in last 5 years we have produced more than 1,20,000 registered startups recognized by DPIIT. It happened in just 5 to 6 years. You can see the growth rate of the startups happening in our country. We are growing at the rate of 50%, the best among all the countries in the world. And our startups are catering to the global solutions, global problems. They're not restricting to only the Indian problems or the catering the domestic market. They're targeting the global markets. This is the beauty of the startups, because we are living in an economy which is, we know the both sides, the developing economy, we know the underdeveloped economy, we know the developed economy. So our products, our solutions are fit for catering to the underdeveloped economy problems, also problems from the developed economy. This is the beauty of Indian startup ecosystem and the way we innovate and prescribe solutions. Another interesting fact is that 90% of entrepreneurs or the founders having education background of post-graduation like technical, BTech, MBA kind of things. That means there is a high chance that majority of you, if you will concentrate and align your thoughts, you will become an entrepreneur. And the age group of these founders are between 25 to 35. That means by the time you will graduate, you will be reach around 22, 23. That means you are the best fit into this category. That means there is a high probability if proper environment, climate, support system with your involvement, alignment, and attitude will be merged, then I'm very much sure 50% of you will become an innovator and entrepreneur with a patent in your name. It is possible. The key to this is skill, information dissemination, handholding, what you are going to get from your institute, from this university. And this national education policy, which was launched in 2020, is actually helping to reform the whole education system in our country too much a quality driven, research and commercialization of this innovations driven, and it also set a benchmark that our youths, those will go through this education, they will not stop learning. That is, a lifelong learning, upgradation, reskilling, upskilling should be there, so that they will be able to accommodate any kind of crisis or the changes happen in the world. So the recent example is the COVID crisis. Indian startups are the best surviving startups in the world during this COVID crisis because our adoption rate is too quick and we have changed our business model response to the system. It was not happened in other countries. And as for NEP 2020, it is focusing on multidisciplinary system. And entrepreneurship and innovation happen better when there is a existence of multidisciplinary. If somebody will ask, entrepreneurship is only happening in engineering institute, it is a myth. It is a biased result. It's a biased opinion. Entrepreneurship will happen in better when there is engineering, medical, biology, geology, history, culture, language, all will be coexist. That means being a multidisciplinary university, you have various departments. It is a high chance and opportunity to interact with each other and form the team and identify the problems that you want to solve, and you will come up with a better solution for that. So multidisciplinary system is also another factor that plays a great role in terms of producing better innovations and entrepreneurs. From Ministry of Education, we have area of programs. As Vikas mentioned about Institutions Innovation Council, we started in 2018. Now we have more than 7,000 institutions in the country have established and functioning an innovation council, and that council actually driving all kind of innovation and entrepreneurship related promotion activities related to promotion and supporting the young minds. We have also prescribed a framework called Innovation Ranking Framework, which helps the institute to know where they stand today, how they will set a bigger target every year so that they will provide or they will create a better ecosystem. Ministry of Education also devised a policy called National Innovation Startup Policy, which is a guiding framework for the educational institutions, which provides incentives, which also highlights how the revenue sharing mechanisms, IP ownership, equity sharing mechanisms, setting up the incubation and the pre-incubation systems should happen in the institute so that nobody should get exploited. So we are keeping the interest of all the stakeholders. We are prescribing the better policies and interventions for our education institutions. And in this manner, in the last 5 years, because of the efforts of the institutions, we started the Global Innovation Index ranking 81st position in 2015, and we reached to 40th position in 2023. Our target is to reach top 30 by 2030. 25, and then crossing the top 20 by 2030. It is certainly going to happen because we have 65,000 institutions. Hardly 7,000 institutions only have this IIC. Just imagine when this 7,000 number will cross 15,000, when this 15,000 number will cross the 30,000, and all institutions and the students and the faculty members will start involving in this innovation entrepreneurship movement, and they will start contributing their efforts in terms of patents, in terms of innovations, in terms of the startups, in terms of creating an awareness. Just imagine. India will cross the Israel and USA, because now Israel and US have the first and second position. India is the third position. We will definitely cross Israel and USA. And the number of unicorns we are producing is now already in a very high number, that is 120 numbers per year. And this will also cross more than 200, 300 numbers. This is certainly going to happen. But to make it happen, your commitment, your involvement is required in terms of intellectuality. And that intellectuality comes from few things. That is called creating a large pool of scholar entrepreneurs or student entrepreneurs or problem solvers. So this is the new breed of entrepreneurs who are creating, or our institutions are creating, and they are likely to drive the whole Indian startup ecosystem in next 5 to 6 years. Can you recognize what it is? In which language it is written? Japanese? Something others like Korean? Chinese? No? Madam saying no. Is it no? You know to read, is it Japanese or Chinese or Korean? It is in Chinese. Chinese. So, you know what is the meaning of this? The meaning is very simple. In Chinese, this 2-letter meaning is crisis. The first letter is danger, and the second letter is for the opportunity. So in China, if you will go and ask what is crisis, they will mention this 2-letter, and within this 2-letter, the danger and opportunity word already there. That means it depends on a person which side they want to see. If you see crisis as danger, you will not be able to solve that problem. But entrepreneurs and innovators, they see crisis, the opportunity side is more dominant compared to the danger side. This is the word through which whole human beings, the civilization started 80,000 years back. And because of this innovation, because we see crisis as an opportunity, and we evolved, through series of technical revolutions and technological revolutions, we have survived. So the essence of this is that innovation exists since the day one of civilization started, and we have survived because of the innovation. Currently, we are going through the phase of technological evolution, because of or through which we are solving the majority of the problems we are facing. And there are many inventions we made, but all these things actually we have to solve through our imagination. Can you see this image? Can you see this image? A person is hanging, and a snake is there, and one lion and this crocodile is there. This is the challenge is in front of you. Can somebody will give a solution how this person is going to survive? Yes. Okay. So part answer is there. Anybody will attempt? Anybody will attempt this one? Yes. Okay. There is no wrong answer, but still better answer. Wake up. Anything? Any attempt? Any attempt? See, it's the obstacle of the imagination, right? It's kind of your mind. It is set in our mind that snake, lion, and your crocodile are the enemies. We always, because it was taught to us, they're always there to harm you. See, we can think that we can create a friendship, or we can read, or we can have a kind of a cordial relation, or kind of something that. So we have to get out of the imagination that they are our enemies. That is the only solution in this context, if this kind of situation will comes to you. Okay, anyway, now let's know something about this necessity, creativity, and happiness, innovation, because these are the very, very critical to every individual if they want to become an innovator and a startup or the entrepreneur. See, this necessity and creativity and happiness is very strong relationship. When I started this session, I asked how many of you are actually happy in your life. Many of you have raised your hand. This happiness and creativity has a positive relationship, very strong positive relationship. Those are happy, they tends to create more creative works. They engage themselves in more creative works. And those are creative, those are engaged themselves in the creative work, they're likely to be more happy. So both are very strong relationship. But this innovation only comes when there is a necessity comes in. It means that necessity is the mother of innovation, and creativity is the father of innovation. And happiness is the family or the house where this creativity and necessity stay together. You got the situation? Necessity is the mother of innovation. Creativity is the father of innovation. Happiness is the environment through which both necessity and creativity work together, and they give a birth to innovation. And when the innovation grows, innovation is the youngest stage of the individual, and the adult stage is called entrepreneurship or the enterprise. So this is the kind of link for necessity, creativity, happiness, innovation, and entrepreneurship. And these are the best crisis management tool every individual or every society use to survive during the crisis stage. So if you will see the movement from the kind of a path from the ideation to the innovation, everybody says that we start with the idea or you start with the problem, but actually that is not the starting point. The starting point is raising your curiosity. And curiosity comes from observing. So far you will not notice others. So far you will not observe others. Curiosity will not come. And if curiosity will not come, then your creativity will not activate. So the starting point of any innovation or ideation starts with the curiosity. You should go and observe others. You should read, you should experience. And from the noticing itself, you will start asking yourself why it is happening, why it is not happening. And to find the answer for that, you have to again seek for knowledge, and you have to utilize your skill and the kind of, you have to go and talk with the mentors. And from there, the ideation will start. The problem solving things will start. And the problem solving further leads to the innovation if you start working on that solution. So these are the steps involved for ideation, innovation, and startups. So it starts with curiosity, and then to the creativity, then to the innovation. So these are the cycles we have to remember. And the design thinking principle is the technique, simple technique to identify a right problem and to develop a right solution for that, and working on the solution that you want to take it for a in a business opportunity mode. So design thinking and this problem solving techniques are very, very key for every individuals to learn. And I hope in next 1 to 2 years, your institute is going to give you enough opportunity to get trained on these techniques, or you can use the Google to, or even other training sessions to understand and to have a skill on this design thinking. That will help. And let me give you another aspect. everybody is saying that I have not, my mind is not tuned for this problem solving. But the research says that the human brain, what you're seeing, it remains same at least 1,60,000 years back. The same brain. That means the neurons, your capability, that intellectual capability is same what you have now. Exactly, it was the same 1,60,000 years back. That means your brain capacities remain same. Only how you are going to tune it and how you are going to give a situation and refining it, that only matters. So what I'm saying, what I've said so far, it is all about, I'm not going to cover all these things. I will only cover this one. Sorry. Yes. There are 4 types of problems exist in this world. If you classify all type problems, it is only 4 types. The first is called clear kind of problems. The problem is known, solution is known, you have to just adapt it. Another type of problem is called chaotic. There is no solution. It will come suddenly. It is unpredictable. There is no known solution for it. So you have to bear with it. The third one is called complex problems. There are so many clear and chaotic problems, also other kind of problems that comes together, and you have to do the research, and through research you have to take a right step to address that. Another is called complicated problem. It is completely known of unknowns. So for that, you have to just sense and analyze and respond. So these are the kind of 4 type of problems, major kind of problems. You can classify, you can put all of your problems into any one of the category. And if you understand this type of problems, then actually there are solutions for each kind of problem. For clear, there is a cause and effect is known. That means you have to just adopt the best practices already exist in the society or exist in your library or in your knowledge library. If it is a chaotic, you have to discover the novel practices because there is no best practices available and is happening fast of its time. If it is complex, you have to enable emergent practices through research and develop the best suitable practices for that particular situation. Whereas the complicated one, you have to research the good practices, which is improvisation of the existing practices. So this is the kind of problems you will come across, and to solve these problems, there are certain techniques are there. So I'm sharing all these techniques here, and giving or spending enough time on understanding that problem is very, very important. If you will not spend enough time to understand that problem, then later you will find more and more better problems, but you are not going to solve it, because by understanding, you will understand the nature of the problem. You will, by spending at least 1 hour to understand it, then work 10 minutes on solving it. So it says that, like as Einstein said, that if I had an hour to solve a problem, I would spend 55 minutes thinking about the problem and 5 minutes thinking about the solution. So it is kind of spending time and making a sense of your problem will help you to get a better solution. If you will not spend time, then what will happen? You will focus on solving a wrong problem. You will keep using solutions that we know these are not going to work, or there will be some kind of a cultural biasness, or you will try to fit a solution which is not going to fit with this problem. That is, we are trying to create a one size fit for all, and that is not going to help in anymore in solving that problem. So there is a simple technique. If you have the problem, how to solve it, or how to develop the problem statement to understand it, then to solve it. So there are 5 W and 1 H principle. That is, you have to ask what, who, where, when, and why. So by asking these 5 W 1 H principle, you will get a better understanding about the problem. You will develop a good problem statement. Then to find the solution, you have to apply 5 why. So every answer you will get, you ask why, and you ask 5 times why, you will find the solution for that problem. So these are the techniques of applying the 5W1H and 5Y principles. And the solution for that is called how might we. So this is another approach of finding the right solution. So when you will ask this question, how, it suggests that you have no answer, but you are trying to find answer, and might will tell you the kind of a possible answers, and your we will tell the how collectively, how in a team form you will solve the answer. So how might we question, when you will ask to the problem statement that you have developed, you will get a possible answers, and you have to prioritize which answer you have to start first, and which answer or which solution you have to keep later, taking your resources available and the time available to you. And finally, the idea that will emerge through this design thinking and through this problem solving technique, you have to validate by asking this thumb rule that actually who is going to adopt this solution if you will develop, and what is the size of that adopters or the size of that customers those are going to adopt, and is there any willingness to pay or not, and how your product is better than existing solutions offered by the various competitors. So if your answer is positive, then you should go forward. Neither you have to drop that idea there itself, and you should not waste your time and resources to specifically for that particular innovation or that particular solution. So in this way, you have to prioritize your solutions, and you have to start working on developing the prototype by using the pre-incubation support system, Maker's Lab, or the labs in your institute. And simultaneously also you have to explore the business aspect of this innovation, how you will take it to the potential customers that you've identified during the problem development, problem solution stage. And through this journey, you will discover that actually you are fit for entrepreneurship, or you are fit for only for the innovation, and you can transfer your technology to the industry, and you will get the only license fee, and you focus on another development of another innovation. So this is the kind of alternative ways you can explore that innovation and entrepreneurship as an alternative career choice. But you can do a small test. You can ask simple questions to yourself that actually you are fit for innovation and entrepreneurship journey or not. So let me ask you 4 questions, and later we will check that how many of you are actually having this enterprising tendency within you to take this innovation and entrepreneurship as a alternative career option or not. So the first question, or the first level you have to qualify is that you must have an internal motivation to pursue any activity. So you must be doing so many activities every day. Just ask yourself, is it a self-guided? Are you self-guided? Are you self-motivated enough to pursue any activities that you are doing every day or not? If your motivation is depend on somebody, if it is from your parents, if it is from your friends or from others, then you are not self-motivated. That motivation is not within you. The first ingredient to become an entrepreneur is self-motivation, or motivation within yourself. So how many of you are actually self-motivated? You can raise your hand, or you can keep yourself. I will, okay. Please raise your hand. How many of you are actually self-motivated to pursue any activities? Okay. If you are qualifying the first level, then ask yourself the next question. Do you feel restlessness when you come across with any kind of challenges or the difficulties encountered by anybody, when you see any situation which is not right? If something is not right and it comes to your notice, are you feeling restlessness that you should do something for that to solve it? Is it coming something like within you? If this thing is bothering you, if that problem is bothering you every day till you come up with something, then that is a second ingredient that you are in the path of innovation and entrepreneurship as a career option. How many of you are getting this kind of restlessness? Okay. There are 5 to 6 members, the 10 members. So this is the second level of qualification, or the second level of requirements. The third level is called when you have decided to do something, are you banking upon the information, logics, research, or others' opinion before you take a decision? That means you are not doing the gambling. You are not doing something what comes to mind. You take a decision based on logics, based on information, based on taking the opinions from the experts or the mentors. Is it the process you follow? Then I think you are in the right direction. How many of you actually believe on taking the other's opinion or having a kind of a research or information, the logics before you take the final decision? How many? Around 10 to 15. Then the fourth one is called locus of control. That means once you decide, once you have the decision to implement it, you start and you finish. You never give up in the mid. How many of are actually in this bracket of if they will start, if they decide to start, they start it and they finish it. And they have a complete control over the factors that belongs to the internal. Also, they understand what the uncertainties are there, that there should be plan B or C in ready if plan A will not work. How many are falling to this category of having a better control over the activities they undertake? Okay. Now I have asked 4 questions. Few have raised for the option 1, question 2, question 3, and question 4. Now raise your hand, those who have answered yes for all these 4 things. Would you please stand? Would you please stand? Those who have raised hand for all these questions, yes, please raise your, please stand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. See, from this 150 to 200 people, only 4, 5, 6 have raised hand. And I'm very much sure in last 1 year or 2 years, you must have done something innovative. Please stand, please stand. You must have done something innovative or something called enterprising or something called startup related things to bring positive changes in the society or in the community or in the industry or wherever you have worked. Am I right? Right? Somebody can share their experience, 1 or 2, madam, and you and somebody, because we have only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 members. So can you tell what is that? What the innovative things you did in the last 1 year? You made a website, you sold to a company, right? So get thing, right? Currently you are in which year? MCA first year. And you built in which year? First year itself? Second year BCA. See, this is the called quality of the innovator and the entrepreneurship. Have a round of applause for him and see that it starts with like this small activities. Now he tested, now he understood, now he knows what is the first stage, and now he will try for something bigger than what he did last year. So entrepreneurship journey started like this with a small steps and understanding, experiencing your failure and the success from the previous step, that will help you take a bigger step. What you did, madam? Yes. So still this application is running, still you are in this initiative. Congratulations for that and a round of applause for her. What's your good name? Aditi. Okay. What's your initiative? What you did? You're part of the same team? Now, what you did in the last 1 year that you feel that you are having some innovativeness and the entrepreneurial attitude, or what you did in the last one year? Anything, any work or any activity you did that you can set as an example, or you can tell this is an example that you did in the last 1 year?
Something as simple as just fixing my own automobiles. Simple as that. I just work on my cars and bikes on my own just to gain some knowledge.
Okay, great. I want to listen from you. What's your good name?
So my name is, sorry, I stammer a bit. My name is Meher, you can.
Nihar.
Meher.
Meher, yes.
Yes. So, sir, in the past few years or in the last years, actually, I'm I'm a sports person. So I'm a national level champion in Taekwondo, and in the last year, I have won many medals and self motivating myself for being a better and a strong person mentally and physically. And I have participated in many championships and have bought laws for my family and for my respective schools and institutions.
Yes. So that means the challenge you took yourself to cross the boundary
Yes.
or the limit that you had, or other perceive that you have that limit, but you have crossed that boundary, right?
Yes.
So this is the first step I see, is that quality of an entrepreneur, that they never set a limit for themselves.
Yes.
They see that the assumptions or the kind of boundary they set is something is far beyond what other perceives. So this is the what startups and innovators see themselves and the kind of potential what you have done. You are in already startup? Great. So which year you are studying now?
Sir, MCA first year.
MC first year. What's your startup is doing?
Sir, my startup name is AICTE-11th, and we deals in cybersecurity, website designing, app designing, logo designing, software development, digital marketing, and in IT education.
Great. And what's yours?
Hello, sir. My name is Deepak, and I am building websites on WordPress. I have clients over Canada and all over the world. I'm also providing personal growth coaching for.
Both badhiya. See, these 5-6 people, this is only 5 to 6 people, but everybody has this potential. Only the question is that you have not put yourself into that situation. And in front of you, these 5-6 are the only examples, but let me tell you what the questions I have asked. These are not the static. This changes. Today you listen to me. Also, you will go and do the Googling. Also, you will go and interact with these people. Next year, once you started asking these kind of questions every day and you will build up your skill and knowledge and attitude, gradually in the next year, you will stand and also you will tell that I'm also an entrepreneur. I have also invented a technology. I have 5 patents in my name. I have transferred the technologies to this industry, that industry. These things is going to happen. Yes.
Sir, an e-commerce company. It's a supplement brand. We work in US and Canada. Our supply chain is a US company.
Which branch and which year you are currently?
I'm a BA LLB first.
BA LLB. You have no
Fresher.
technical background.
No.
But still you are running a
Supplement brand. Yes, sir.
see
It's a health and wellness brand.
health and wellness.
Yeah.
See, startup, never see you are coming from which education background, which age, which discipline. Startup and innovation only see the opportunity. I have so many examples to present you in and to showcase you, but I think you have the living examples here. Need not to go anywhere. Have some time spent with all these freshers and orient them, share your experience, and from university also they will organize some mentorship programs. Through this, please handhold your freshers so that they will also inculcate this kind of mindset and they will perform better. So with this, I thank you all for spending time and also watching me and listening to me. So great to interact with such young minds, fresh minds, and those who want to take a leap in this journey of innovation and entrepreneurship. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for such an inspiring and motivational speech. May I request Dr. Ranjana Kothari, Professor, Amity Business School and Deputy Dean, Students Welfare, to kindly propose the vote of thanks, please.
As we express our gratitude, we must never forget that the highest appreciation is not to utter words, but to live by them. So today we promise Deepanji that every word he has shared, we will implement that in our life. A warm and graceful afternoon to Pro Vice Chancellor, sir, our most valued guest, Deepanji, all HOI, HODs present here, my faculty, and most beloved students. It is my privilege to have been asked to propose a vote of thanks on this occasion. I, on behalf of our Vice Chancellor, Sir, Pro Vice Chancellor, Sir, and whole Amity family, would like to express our deepest gratitude and thanks to Dr. Deepan Sahuji for having spared time from his busiest schedule to grace the occasion and sharing with us his knowledge, findings, and opinions today. It was a great hearing your thoughts on curiosity to innovation to entrepreneurship and on Indian economic system. It was a very inspiring thought for the students and for us as a faculty also. I hope it is a great takeaway for all of us today. Thank you so much, Deepanji. A big thank to our Master of Ceremony, Geeta ji. And also I would like to thank our hospitality, transport, security, administration, stage, auditorium management teams. And a special thanks to Srinivas ji and IT team and camera team for the support. And I would like to take this opportunity to place on record our hearty thanks to all the new members of this family, Amity family, my dear students, because of whom we are gathered here. And as we may have a great promise, like you guys would have a great promise for future and going to lead a life of commitment. Thank you so much to all the faculty and staff members also. Thank you so much to, and I would like to thank God Almighty because we owe him everything. And thanks a lot to one and all present here. Thank you so much. Jai Hind. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Dear students, for tomorrow, we have some important sessions lined up for all of you. May I request you to be kindly seated, please? We are just about to close the session. So along with some important presentations by our HOIs tomorrow, we have fireside chat on 21st century skills and future of work, and which will be followed by a very interactive session by radio jockey RJ Divya. So we expect a wholehearted participation from all our students in tomorrow's